Thank you, Scotty, for the 10 to start us off. Damn, haven't heard that song in a while. Dare was always so catchy. It really is. It sits in the back of your head forever. Thank you. Appreciate it, Scotty. Appreciate it. Watching the VOD later? Yeah, it'll be up. Don't you worry. We also clip out the segments that I find more interesting. If you haven't noticed, channel's doing pretty good on that stuff, so thank you guys for coming out. Let's say hello to some people in chat. Hello, Jax. Hello, Star. Hello, Black Rose. Hello, Mamamax. Hello, Springy. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Nightmare Reaper. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? I know. I haven't streamed in a few days, like an actual topic. It's been kind of dead. It's been kind of dead. We have a couple of things lined up. Things I wanted to touch on for a bit. I did see, obviously, that the Tom Dark video was not Tom Dark, Turkey Tom video was put up for Blackula, the story of my favorite alleged vampire werewolf pedophile. I'm very excited. Very excited. On top of that, we also have the James story. I feel like this is where me and the Hbomberguy fans might become friends because I think James is a complete fucking loser. And from what I haven't seen the videos yet, but from what I understand with James,
damn, haven't heard this
song that in a
while. Dare was always so catchy. Have a great stream, Chris. We'll have to catch the VOD later.
Yeah, of course. We're gonna be here for a while. Toastify, a long ass video. God damn it, you know I know that. I know. I'm committed tonight. I'm committed for a long ass party here. I want to know the full story of Camden Gerard Blackula pedophile werewolf completionist Davis. I want to know. I'm curious. I haven't seen it yet. So I have to show this to my chat and experience what this potential werewolf pedophile vampire has done. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Hello. Hello, everybody. While everyone's still piling in. Thank you, guys. We're already up to almost 100 viewers. Thank you, guys, so much. Finally catching you live. Awesome. What's up, dude? Welcome. I've seen it. Won't spoil it. Thank you for not... Yeah, cheers, my horse. Love you, no pedo. That's my favorite new donation sound. I'm never going to change the tipster hippo thing. Before it was my good friend, the old man that is my background for my computer screen here. But Russell J. Salvatore needed to retire with his face. You still get it when you donate super chats and stuff, but that's, I mean, it's too funny. He must have known he was going to get clipped and put on another soundboard again. I think he did that on purpose. I think Tipster did it on purpose. Have you read the Clankers on the Creek? Yes, I have been fighting the Clankers on the Creek. I have been. Helldivers 2 is an amazing goddamn game. I'm pretty sure they're going to add mech soon, too. The Church of Russell will live on. It always will live on. Blackula sounds like a My Little Pony OC. Is that really what we're going with? It sounds like a My Little Pony OC? That sounds ridiculous. That sounds ridiculous. Why? Why would we do that? Let's just get right into it. I want to start off with some lighter situations because this broke last night. I didn't get a chance to talk about it yet. This is my favorite kind of story. Two retards fighting over money. There's nothing better than two retards fighting over money. I love it. It's a pastime of mine. It really is. Now, I need you guys to, like, understand the build-up to what I'm about to explain here. So, Boogie, because apparently the Lockout podcast is getting very, very boring. No. So, Flaming Star, whoever the fuck the shaman's name is, decided to go a little off the deep end. So, from what I've understand and what I understood from this story is that Boogie was supposed to give this shaman crazy person with type 4 cancer or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, the cow goes, do you know the lore? But like, apparently he was supposed to give like $100,000 worth of trading cards to a guy named Flaming Star. Flaming Star apparently choked Boogie's oldest ugly gremlin fuck looking of a dog. And Boogie backed out of the exchange to give him the cards to sell them. Apparently Flaming Star has lost his fucking mind and vandalized Boogie's house and sent out multiple threats against Boogie's life. Let's read these over real quick. This is fun. Oh my God. The medicine man who I worked with in the documentary came to my house and spray painted thief on my house as well as pedophile. Now, I want to let you know something, guys. When I was told this initially, you obviously could guess who told me this. The words were, no, it wasn't thief. It was the F slur. And I'm trying to get monetized, so I need to fix my monetization a little bit on this channel, so we're not going to use that bad word until they fix my monetization. But apparently, initially, the report was he spray painted the F slur on my house and pedophile. And I was like, damn. So Boogie on his house got spray painted to be a gay pedophile. And I'm like, fuck. That's really funny. That's hilarious, actually. But unfortunately, that's not the case. It's actually thief. It's actually thief. I'm so mad. I'm so fucking pissed. Yeah, he spray painted frog onto his fucking house. I'm currently 1,000 miles away, so I can't take photos. We'll post them as soon as I get them from roommates. Oh my God. Apparently, he posted threads on Facebook. Stephen Williams, you're so fucked. It's unbelievable. What the fuck? What is this background? Hold on. Can we analyze this real quick? Is that the old man from Breaking Bad, the assassin? Is that the old man from Breaking Bad? Like, really? I'm curious because he looks like him from a side profile. And then is he learning martial arts? He has to be learning martial arts. Look at this place. It's got fucking sticks and shit all over the place. Is that a picture of Bruce Lee? Maybe I'm just racist and that's another Asian man. That's Mike. That's Mike from Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's Mike from Breaking Bad. He's teaching him how to fight, dude. He's teaching him how to fight. And then there's just this random dog with a bandana. I'm so confused. This entire thing. Wait. Everything about this is confusing on every level to me. So he's trying to threaten Boogie that he can fight. It's Doc on the radio. Yeah, it is Doc. And then there's this, whatever the fuck this shit is. The city of Fayetteville chooses war. That was very unwise. Protecting Glenn Whitman and Stephen Jason Williams, a.k.a. Boogie 2988. All the tomahawks are out now. Let's see what happens since everybody wants to play games. What the fuck? What is this? Is this like the new pedophile symbol? You know how like they have the swirl for pedophile? Is this like the new pedophile symbol? I think Camden hacked him. I don't get why he said the tomahawks. Is he like threatening to hurt people? Like genuinely, is he going out into the world and like trying to fucking start fights and skin people with tomahawks? Pedo branding, yeah. Listen, these are all jokes before the Native American community gets mad at me. It's the Gilded Divinity symbol. Yeah. What is it? Flaming Star is a part of Camden's cult. Let's see here. Oh, this is my favorite. He also destroyed my roommate's car for no reason. Also, he can't spell. Okay, you guys need to understand something. You should never, ever, 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 ever let your drug dealer know where you live. First rule of drugs. Never tell your drug dealer where you live. You want to know why? Because then shit like this will happen. Or if you try to stiff them and you don't give them the right amount of money, they'll find your house. Why is it so long? I don't know why the P... It looks like a D. He like completely fucked up this entire spelling. Pedophile. Ped. It would have spelled it so much easier if the letters weren't so big. Yeah, I don't know. This is what happens when mushrooms go to your brain, dude. Listen. Never ever let your drug dealers in your home. Don't tell the drug dealers where you live. At the end of the day, you should never be friends with your drug dealer. They aren't your friends. They might be cool and let you smoke a little bit for free at the house or maybe let you drop mushrooms at their house, but never let them at your house. Don't do the whole like, oh, let's deliver drugs to my house. Don't do it, because then you're going to have pedophile spray painted on your home when they get mad at you. Just don't do it. Seriously. He changed Rumble. Also confirmed Chris's Christmas trees and all year. Okay, I'm just lazy. I'm just lazy. Fuck you. Fuck you, I'm lazy. Let's see here. Well, oh, no! Did I just close that? Dude, I feel like I haven't streamed a topic in fucking forever. Because it's not done yet. Bugs. What else you got here? The fucking car. He got the car. I should feel bad, right? But I don't. That's like the worst part about me. Is that like Boogie's life is so chaotically retarded that this doesn't shock me. And I don't really feel bad. I don't really like sit here and go, man, I feel so bad for Boogie. Dude, he's run out of that like charitability to me. I see some people saying it's fake. Like I was watching Tommy earlier, and there were some people in chat from like the LolCow Live audience in there, and there was one dude in there going, this is all fake. Keemstar completely and utterly orchestrated Boogie's roommate's car getting vandalized. It wasn't even Flaming Star. They did it to get eyes on the channel, and I'm like, listen, Keem will do some stupid shit. I don't think he would get somebody to spray paint Boogie's house. Plus, I don't think Boogie would want his house spray painted. So, I don't really believe the whole narrative of it being a false flag. I don't believe that for a fucking instant. Another rule, don't date content creators. Yeah, true. Don't do that. It's a fucking horrible idea. It's fucking terrible. LolCow Live is known for faking drama of that show. See, this is the thing, right? And I kind of agree, I think, with Tommy. That Tommy's like, you should take that as a compliment that they think it's fake. Because I know it's real. I know, like, I want to say, if I have to be generous, I would say like 95% of it's real. 5% of it might be forced. The rest of it is like Wings genuinely wanted to quit. Like he just didn't show up because he was protesting a show making him thousands of dollars just because he was getting mad. People were calling him a pedo in chat when that's been happening for fucking years. Like, come on. I'd say Boogie did it himself. That's probably too much work for him. Do you see how fat this guy is? There is no fucking shot he's going to stand there and keep shaking a fucking spray paint can for that long.
Content creators.
He won't do it. He literally cannot sit there and stand shaking the fucking goddamn can without him being completely and utterly, like, just exhausted. He's like, he shakes it 3 times and goes, oh, I need a quesadilla. I need to go buy some Taco Bell. Babe, please. Like, I can't picture him doing this. He's too fat. He's too fat to do this. Too fat. That's his alibi. He's too fucking fat. Too fat. Hold on. People are trying to text me right now. Don't text me while I'm live. Don't you do it. I've never seen better graffiti. Dude, I've seen better. Everyone's seen better graffiti. His Skeletor girlfriend did it. Bro! He was on 3rd grade education. Definitely not urban. Okay. What the fuck? Chat, what the hell? Let's see here. Anything else on Boogie's head? I just thought it was funny to bring that up because Boogie's life is pathetic. Are we gonna get into the Camden Gerard Davis files? Are we really doing this? There's nothing else going on. I'm just curious. He'd break the ladder trying to get to the top of the door. That is true. He would break it. I'm pretty sure he said he fell through his roof one time. Pick your poison, Lav, AP, Sniper Wolf. Sniper Wolf. Easy answer. Her nails are fucking massive, and I find those incredibly unattractive. But the rest of her, yeah, I'd do it. Dude, if Sausage could pull her, any guy could pull her. That's the bar of her, like, worst is Sausage, you know? And that's, like, her husband. Ex-husband, excuse me. Ex-husband. Isn't she a convicted felon? I can fix her. Sausage is my goat. That dude took half of her money. That is a goat move. Lav looks like a mega mind. I would be terrified to even, like, be in the same vicinity as Lav. Like, really, I'm actually too afraid to be in the same vicinity as that crazy bitch. I'm like really, really, really. I'm actually fucking terrified to be in the vicinity of Lav. Because I feel like if you even breathe the same air as her as a man, you're going to catch an allegation. I feel like that's what would happen. Well, I cover the Wilbur Soot stuff. I'm playing that one out. I'm playing that one out. When it comes to these kinds of stories, I like to get all my ducks in a row before I start screaming from the rooftop on certain stuff. Especially with this Wilbur shit. I feel like if you want my like preliminary idea about it, whoa! I think the X is so I'll give my preliminary take on the Wilbur stuff, right? So with Wilbur, I believe that there are major parts of the story that are being overinflated because the girl is a sensitive motherfucker. I'll admit it. Wow, you got bit. Oh God, she pissed at Nicholas Dior for covering her and laughing at her on stream. Okay, then she can go fuck herself. Like, get over it. You made it public. You went to the internet first. You didn't go to the police or therapist. Like, what did you expect? For everybody just to lay down and be like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. No, that's not the world we live in anymore, sweetheart. It's 2024. There's way too much stupid bullshit happening. Larry's waking up to debate 150 random Twitter users for 3 hours of the Wilbur Scott situation. I would rather kill myself than debate random weirdos on the Wilbur Scott situation. I think I'd rather kill myself. Oh, he's talking about Lav? I thought we were talking about Wilbur Scott. All right, my bad. Because I was giving up my Wilbur Scott thing. I think it's being overblown on certain areas. Could Wilbur have been a total dickhead of an ex-boyfriend? Yeah. But I also don't know any of the other stories. I think it's kind of crazy, in my opinion, that Dream, the guy who gets accused every other fucking year of being a pedo with false allegations, will immediately jump to the side of the one girl. You also have Slimesicle, Snake, when it came to the Call Me Carson stuff, like Noah and the rest of them. I just see a lot of like the regular people I don't like when they're on one side of a drama. I start to think the opposite of that because those people have a track record of being entirely wrong about something. So, you know, I don't trust Slimesicle. I think he's a fucking snake. Same thing as Noah from Lunch Club. I don't know. I don't know about the Wilbur stuff. I haven't looked enough into it, but my initial thing is I think it's being overblown. Could he have been a complete douchebag of an ex-boyfriend? Absolutely, but I don't think I would call him like a rapist, you know? I don't think I would call him a rapist. Like, there's no rape kit. There's no definitive information on that stuff. I don't think his life needs to be ruined. I think that's kind of like pushing it, but I don't know enough about it. 90% of Minecraft people are pedos. I wait for the penny to drop. Yeah, I'm going to be real. Minecraft streamers, Minecraft YouTubers in general are either schizophrenics that allegedly beat their girlfriends and are terrible fathers, like Sky does Minecraft. Then you have Lion Maker, pedophile. And then you have people, and I don't care that he's dead, Basher, who is a complete insane person and makes sexualized content for kids. That is Minecraft. And then there's normal people like PewDiePie. Then there's normal people like PewDiePie. There are pedophiles in the Minecraft community. There are pedophiles in the Minecraft community. Captain Sparkles, Red Kiwis. Minecraft is like a breeding ground for pedophile freaks. Like it's just actual facts. Clipped what? What'd you clip me on? Jinbop, another pedophile. Jesus Christ. We need to put a list together of every YouTuber that is a Minecraft YouTuber. Whoa! That got convicted of being a pedophile. Red Key uses COD YouTuber? Okay, yeah, my bad.
He's gonna fix it for all of us all because some dude said he was a landlord.
I'm a douche. Well, I'll be damned. There's so many pedos. I'm so pedoed out, but I want to know about Camden. This is where Confusing is going to clip out that entire beginning segment for me to kill time for more people to come in. I want to get started on this. So Camden Gerard Blackula Davis, the completionist, What a terrible fucking start to this. Blackula is a recurring character on this channel because if you don't remember, Mamamax, my favorite pedo hunting lolcow, that's what I'm gonna dub it as, like a whole new genre of lolcow, are the ones that are pedo hunters but end up being complete losers, degenerates, or pedos, whichever one. So nobody knew anything about Camden. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Like, because Max, if you remember, and this is where confusing's gonna edit some shit in, because apparently I have to say that for him to do it! No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. If you don't remember, at one point, Mamamax made a trailer to put out the alleged information about Camden, which taught us jack shit. Then Max got caught faking content, faking the bullshit, completely and utterly trying to bully other creators into covering this story with no evidence. Nobody could go off of anything. And then his Discord server got leaked because of Red Pagan. Frankenstein, as fucking Big Budgie would say. Red Pagan let a rando in there, and that rando decided to completely and utterly leak everything that they could, which is so bad, Max. That's so fucking bad, dude. So everyone now has the information out there. It was consolidated on Kiwi Farms, consolidated on Twitter. Some creators went over it, like Queeman and Chud Logic. All of these guys covered it, but nobody was able to make a concise video about Camden, his actions, and the timeline of the events because the information was so completely and utterly discombobulatedly retarded that nobody could figure it out. Until Turkey Tom, and I assume Bernie, I assume Bernie did most of the work, put together a video going through the complete and utter timeline of Spencer's allegation, all the way up to information that we know of apparently as recently as I want to say a couple of years, maybe, in between. I haven't seen the video. This is all fresh to me. So please, bear with me while I'm going through this if you've seen it already. And fuck you if you try to spoil it.
If you've been following the commentary community or this channel at all in the past few months, you've likely heard the name Camden Gerard Davis. It's the
Blackula. Say the name. It's Blackula. Stop it. Let's stop playing the game. Blackula. I refuse to call him by Camden Gerard Davis. I refuse. I will not call him Camden. I can't do it. Let's see here. Why is my camera all fucking annoying right now? What is happening? What is happening? Gonna open that, close that. There we go.
case that sparked all of the recent backlash against Mamamax, with his coverage, or lack thereof, doing little other than spurring confusion for the accused. Camden went by several aliases, including Cade, Quinn, Kincaid, Giomara, and Godric. His alleged cult was similar, with names
like fucking Godric. Imagine having like some sort of fantasy role play, right? You're doing the whole vampires, werewolves. You're getting looped into this supposed fucking cult. And it's like, man, I just sexted with Godric. Like, what the fuck? What a fucking terrible name. I genuinely feel bad for any poor bastard living on this earth named Godric.
Like the Guild of Divinity, the Demons, and Eon Syndicate. If we're to take Max at his word, Camden stands accused of kidnapping, assault.
You know what? I'm thinking of something. I know I'm going to pause a lot because I'm just thinking now. I wonder what Max is doing. You think about that? Are you thinking about that? Because I am. It just came to my mind because I haven't thought about Max in forever, and this video came up, and I was like, oh shit, we're definitely going over this. But like, I wonder what he's doing right now. And I think, like, my thing that I know is he's getting a job because Patreon's probably being destroyed right now. His credibility is completely in the shitter. Nobody trusts him and thinks that he is a complete lunatic for trying to bully creators. Then you have the other aspect where the story that was supposed to be his to help Spencer is now Turkey Tom's story. Nobody's going to remember Max other than this amount of time, and then it's over. It's over. Like, there's nothing. Like, what does Max have left? The Silencing All Survivors video? You can't really make... Okay, Max, listen, I know you're collecting evidence on all of us, right? So if you're watching this, or your cronies, or Spencer, the girl that I don't believe had 3 or 4 miscarriages within the span of 3 months, I don't believe you. Sorry, honey. I don't fucking believe you. I think it's medically impossible what you have fucking described. Plus, I've never heard somebody get sexually assaulted as many times as you had in a short period of time trying to get to a vampire, werewolf, pedophile's house. I'm sorry. You can't really say that we're silencing all survivors when this video now exists. You can't do it. What is the silencing all survivors video for then? It's just to be like, guys, they silenced survivors, aka me. I'm a victim of the commentary community. They brutally raped me for 3 whole months. My asshole is the size of Jupiter. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, that's what more does he have for that video?
And attempted human trafficking.
The man had recruited hundreds of young children, subjecting them to sending CP, kidnapping, assault, and attempted trafficking. Almost 7 years later, Spencer and the other survivors shared their stories with me. This video serves as their scream for action against their perpetrator.
My name is Spencer, and I am a survivor of Camden Gerard Davis, the leader of a destructive cult that has victimized hundreds of minors.
See, I'm kind of like a piece of shit. Oh, God, I'm going to say something fucking horrible. Camden has horrible taste in fucking women. They are ugly as shit. God damn.
This video...
I'm going to fucking hell. Confusing. Cut that part from this. Cut that part from the re-upload. Cut that part.
It's our screen for action.
But instead of telling the story coherently, Max directed the public to a 5-hour-long
Cut that part. God damn it.
It's our screen for action.
But instead of telling the story coherently, Max directed the public to a 5-hour-long podcast where no evidence is actually presented. When this failed to garner attention, he then began pressuring other creators to cover the story while refusing to show.
Dude, that podcast was so fucking boring. Chris, you're a toxic white male. Yeah. What about it? It's 2024, baby. Like Heffel says, the Nazis are back. What the fuck? Look at this. What? Even when that was leaving my mouth, I was like, "Oh no, you're gonna get clipped on that one." Cheers, fuck. Love ya, no pedo. Thank you for the thank you for the membership, Canvas.
Show anything unless they signed non-disclosure agreements. Naturally, most refused, and those that did weren't given enough context to make sense of it. This led to another video, disguised as a call-out against Critical and later Sniper Wolf. There are a handful of screenshots here, but they flash on screen as part of some edgelord montage.
I wouldn't even call it like an edgelord montage. I would just call it like retarded, like for the actual like mentally disabled. The people that are so autistically inclined that they will read frame by frame these little spurts of information. How are you? Toastifies in chat. Let me ask somebody who makes really good videos on fucking predators on YouTube. If you're trying to get the story out there, do you think that flashing lights and flashing the evidence randomly on screen conveys the point that you're trying to make and show the evidence necessary to tell the audience what this person's done? I think that's retarded. I don't think you can do that and get away with it. I think you're making a joke of the fucking story. Man, I learned so much information from this short little montage.
He seemed far more interested in role-playing as a Hotline Miami character and threatening creators.
No, bro, come on. Make a whole video. Okay, next Jim Bob video, if there is an update, all you do is just flash his face on the screen like 9 times and then just write pedophile. Make it like a 30-second video. It's just flashing Jim Bob with no seizure warning, and it just has pedophile every time his face goes away. Pedophile, bop, pedophile, bop.
Then actually explaining the story.
Really good for an intro. Just 90 seconds. You don't even need to make an intro.
Camden Gerard Davis. Leviathans are coming for you.
I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you, and I choose not to. I'm the friggin' pedo hunter.
Max's bizarre behavior.
Yeah, I love when people were like, there's no way he actually said that. That was like a joke, like a tongue-in-cheek thing. I can't wait for that defense from Max. Now I'm getting on Max. We haven't even gotten to Camden yet, and I'm already shitting on Max. I'm just thinking about this, right? I'm thinking like 5 steps ahead because Max doesn't think at all. He can't think past like the next girl he's going to fuck up their life or something, you know? Or like send photos of him cutting himself to them or whatever. But fucking damn it. I haven't gotten my frustrations out with streaming in a while. I'm brutal today. But what is Max like? When people were like, oh, well, it's just tongue-in-cheek, that's what Max is going to do. He's going to say, oh, well, it was all just like outtakes, and people took that seriously. See, they ran with information that they didn't know the full context of, which means that they're a hypocrite like I am. Max, no, you just look like a psychopath in this one clip, and we all made fun of you for it. Don't take it seriously, you fucking tard. I think you're crazy. That's what I got from this inference. I think you're just insane, and your ego's out of fucking control. Not anymore. It's probably deflated to the point where it's like the Hindenburg when it bursts into flames. It's probably like that a little bit.
And inability to take criticism shattered his predator hunter persona. The sheer incompetence on display led his entire previous catalog to be scrutinized, only made worse once he admitted to faking entire videos. He favored a specific accuser named Spencer, who he'd known since childhood and began living with.
That is because I'm contractually obligated to see this case through and make sure Spencer is taken care of. Spencer is moving over to me in a couple of days, actually, and we're gonna find her own.
I still remember watching that part live. I'm just reminiscing on the Max drama because that was a fucking shit show. Hearing the words, yeah, you know, this victim, she's going to live with me. I think it's a great idea. You know, I'm going to get her driver's license number. I'm going to pay for her place to live. All the while he's saying this with such confidence, not hearing the words in the back of his head, his little subconscious there, going, this is a conflict of interest, Max, no. No, Max, no. Please, God, no. I'm just picturing like a small, tiny voice that he doesn't listen to in the back of his head that is just like, please, Max, don't buy her a place. Don't move her in. Don't move her in. So his contractual obligation to him, right, is that people donate him money for these stories, right, and the pedo hunts. So in his brain, from what I'm assuming, he meant I am contractually obligated to help a survivor because people pay me, and that's what the money is used for. Even though he wasn't doing that for fucking years. But randomly now that Spencer's moved in, now he's contractually obligated. Okay, dude. Hold on. Actually, no, that's a bad idea.
Place, and I will be paying for all of it.
The result was the public at large being dubious or flat out not believing there was any credibility to her and the other victim's story.
Okay, the reason I didn't believe it initially is because I saw that clip where Camden's like, roar, Smaggle remembers. I couldn't take it seriously. When I saw that, the first thing I said was, how am I supposed to take this seriously? There is a black guy with fangs roaring at me on camera. There's no way I have to take this seriously. Max is losing his fucking mind.
Max Striker's evidence provides without a shadow of a doubt that this might just be a video of a black man roaring like a wolf with fake vampire teeth in his mouth.
Why are you putting it all on me?
Because it's your case!
This video is not about Max. I already covered the fallout in his entire career in my last video. Now, several people from his top secret evidence server have begun to leak info to the public. Many of the accusers have cut ties with Max and are putting together a legal case independently. I was able to obtain all of the evidence that leaked from the server. This video is an attempt to re-examine the story he failed to tell in full, in a chronological timeline with locations, dates, and even police reports. This is the case against Camden Gerard Davis. The story, as Spencer tells it, starts in Wiley, Texas. In the summer of 2015, Spencer met a girl named Carrie Sutton while attending summer school. The two bonded over My Chemical Romance. It was a...
That should tell you the kind of women that we're dealing with here. If I'm going to be brutally honest. Should tell you a lot. You can learn a lot about a woman from the music that she listens to. You could tell a lot about a woman from the music she listens to. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying they're a shitty band. I don't like them myself, but I wouldn't go out of my way to be like, they're the worst fucking band of all time. But every guy and even girl, I feel like we could all come together as like a human race here. If you're talking to somebody and they say my all-time favorite band has been and always will be My Chemical Romance, you as the man or the woman hearing that, you know what kind of person I'm talking about. You've all met this kind of person. You all know. And if you pretend that you don't, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. You have met this person.
A decent friendship, recalling they tattooed each other and hung out for about a year. Early on in their friendship, Carrie introduced her to a guy she met online named Quinn. Quinn was the alias of 18-year-old Camden Gerard Davis. By spring of 2016, they were both 16, and at this point, Carrie was quote-unquote engaged to Camden. Spencer befriended Camden, believing his many purported claims of supernatural power. At some point, Spencer alleged that Carrie sexually assaulted her while spending the night.
I like spent.
Okay, we're gonna count. We're gonna have a ticker. Fuck. Okay, I need my notepad open. Notepad. How many essays are there? All right. So we're gonna keep this popping up pretty regularly. We're just gonna keep track of that real quick. So one is with Carrie. So Carrie sexually assaulted Spencer. Okay, so we got Carrie. That's one. Okay? One
night with her, and she sexually assaulted me. It took me a really long time to realize that that was actually sexual assault. I mean, I did say that we could mess around a little bit. Maybe it just went too far by accident. But fact of the matter is, I was trying to push her away, and she wouldn't stop.
In the meantime, Spencer grew close to Camden, venting to him about her troubled home life.
Tom, you did this on purpose. You did not pick that stock photo. Not on purpose. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe him. If Tom... It looks AI generated. There's no way they didn't do that on purpose. That's AI art. There's no way. There's no way they didn't do this on purpose.
It was after a particularly nasty fight with her family that he convinced her to run away from home. They confiscated her belongings, except for an iPod she'd kept hidden away. He claimed they were going to have her arrested and that she was only safe with him. It was on a Friday morning that she ran away, heading to East Wiley to catch an Uber to Dallas, Texas. By that night, she was out of the state, convincing the megabus to let her in. That took her to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, speaking of the megabus, yeah, I just somehow convinced multiple bus drivers to let me on a bus free of charge. Excuse me, have you tried doing public transportation before? I've ridden on buses, trains, planes, other people's fucking cars, Ubers. They all ask you for money. Like, nobody's just gonna let you ride a bus for free.
Where she claims to have been sexually assaulted.
I convinced one of the guys at the megabus to let me on, and I was out of state that night. I made it to Little Rock, Arkansas, was sexually assaulted out there from...
That's number two. Would we call him the bus driver, the truck driver? Or is it a rando? Are we going to do are we going to call him the hitchhiking rapist? Okay, yeah, we're going to call him hiking rapist. Up. I can't spell. Let's just call him the car rapist. There we go. Car rapist.
Dallas. I stopped in Little Rock, Arkansas. There was no ticket bought for me for that. I just convinced my way onto it. But this guy told me that he would get me my ticket to Georgia, and he took me to his cousin's place where he sexually assaulted me, and then they dumped me at the bus station.
Oh, wait! She said they. So technically, cousin. of car rapist. That's technically 3. Where we're going to put them out. We're going to put them down as 2. Okay? We're going to put them down as 2.
She got on another bus to Tennessee, staying in Memphis for a week with an unknown individual.
Got on another bus, made it to Tennessee, was stuck out there for a week, but there was somebody who was actually properly taking care of me, treating me like I was his own daughter.
Eventually, Camden convinced one of the girls in his group to buy Spencer a bus ticket from Tennessee to Georgia. He picked her up from an Uber and took her back to his mother's house in Lilburn, Georgia. Spencer then lives with him for the next 3.5 months. He's alleged to have initiated sex.
This AI art's fucking killing me, man. You fucking asshole. Tom, what the fuck, Tom? Stop. I didn't realize how funny this was. Okay. Why is this funny to me? I'm fucking dead inside. I'm dead inside. Oh. The elbow crease.
As soon as she entered his bedroom.
After I got to Atlanta, somebody let me borrow their phone so I could call Camden. He came and picked me up, and his mom was at work, so he went into the house. He opened his window and like pushed the screen out because his brother was still home, and I climbed in through the window, and immediately he initiated sex.
Spencer
Blackula. So we have technically maybe 4. You know what? I'll call it 3.5. Because we don't know if the cousin of the car rapist did anything. So I'm calling it 3.5. So apparently, yes, immediately, apparently, he crawled through the window. She crawled through the window. And the first thought that he had was, damn, I'm going to fuck that right now. Man, you know what, baby? It's so hot that you crawled through that window. Like, what the fuck? I'm just being a dick now. I'm just being a dick.
states that she went along with it because she felt like she had to, but admits she developed feelings for him as he helped her out of a shitty situation. It's also said Camden asked for a relationship before she ran away. Spencer then began dating both Camden and Carrie in some kind of polyamorous relationship. It only became monogamous after Camden got tired of talking to Carrie.
Around the time that he was like convincing me to run away and everything, he was like, so both of you need to be in a relationship with me, and then God tells me that you both need to be in a relationship with me. So when I went out there, that's what he tried to make it into.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. This is where me puts myself in the shoes of a 16-year-old. Somehow. I'm too old for that shit now. But I'm going to try and put my mindset back to when I was 16. What was I doing? Playing sports, going to school, playing video games, hanging out with friends. You know, normal people shit. I don't think I ever thought that vampire werewolves were real. And if somebody told me that they were real, I'm pretty sure even at 16 I'd be like, are you mentally ill? I think you're mentally ill. You know, if a guy came up to me and said, you know, God's telling me that you are a vampire, I'd be like, the fuck are you talking about? I went to Catholic school, for fuck's sake, for high school. I didn't even believe in God then. So, like, what the fuck? I was 16. So, how do you believe this shit?
And eventually, I guess he just got tired of wanting to talk to Carrie because she was in school. And he told me that she cheated on us and broke up with us and everything.
Before going any further, let's look at the available evidence and how it aligns with the timeline so far.
Yeah, nobody asked me about the Catholic school. No more questions. You're not allowed.
In the evidence server, there were two screenshots of Camden's Twitter. The first is from 2012, in which Black Angel 11131 states he'd like to make an angel society. The second is from February of 2016 under the username Cade_555. This is when Camden began using the name Cade Demon instead of Quinn. On March 18th, 2016, Spencer was reported missing from her grandmother's home in Wiley, Texas. This
it's almost like she ran away from home.
poster was shared publicly a month later on Facebook. The date actually aligns with her story, falling on a Friday as she described. On May 21st, Spencer posts a selfie on Tumblr showing what appears to be injuries and even a bite mark.
Yeah, he was into some weird shit. He would sit there.
Wait, what? What was the caption?
Tumblr showing what appears to be
I can't. And of course it was on Tumblr. Of course. Where else would you post shit like this? Oh, send it to the cops. No, I'm going to post it to Tumblr. I can't tell if this is sex or not. Wilbur. Yeah. Wilbur's Camden Gerard Davis. We've been wrong the whole time. Camden isn't black. He's a white skinny guy. And he's a Minecraft YouTuber. But like, I can't tell if this is sex or not. You're fucking killing me, dude.
Injuries and even a bite mark.
Yeah, he was into some weird shit. He would sit there and bite me all the time, saying that he needed to bite me for my transformation, because at that point, when I was living with him, I was supposed to be a werewolf instead of a vampire. And then later on, he changed it to I was both.
Spencer states that she became pregnant following the SA in Arkansas.
You just sound, bro, it sounds like you dated a full-blown manic schizophrenic. I don't think this guy is even in his right mind.
Within a month.
At like the worst case scenario, maybe he's so delirious in his delusions, right? Maybe he's so deep into the delusion that he has no idea what the fuck is going on.
She starts having symptoms, which apparently led Camden to force her to miscarry. The purported methods for doing so were through a ton of cinnamon, vitamin C, and beating her in the stomach. He allegedly got her pregnant 3 other times in the span she was able to see him in person. The reason for this, she claims, was so that he could traffic her by getting her body to automatically reject pregnancies. When angry, he'd apparently mock her for these 4 miscarriages.
If we have had loved ones...
Well, didn't she only stay there for a few months? That, I feel like Tom should have dug a little bit more on that one. And kind of like went a little bit deeper and be like, okay, yeah, she had multiple miscarriages during the time that she was there. I'm pretty sure she said it was 3 to 4 months, if I remember correctly. I don't really, bro, it's been so long, I'm trying to remember. But it was such a short period of time, but the amount of miscarriages that she had, it's such a short amount of time that is medically impossible.
Ones that have like passed away or whatever, or in my particular case, him knowing that I had 4 miscarriages while I was with him, he would sit there and say, oh, well, your baby's soul will go to hell, and then your great-grandmother's soul will go to hell.
The exact details of these purported miscarriages are rather confusing. The idea of vitamin C abortions is a false but widely circulated rumor, but that doesn't explain the significance of cinnamon. In leaked material,
listen, guys, if you keep drinking orange juice, if you get pregnant, drink orange juice. Don't listen to these medical quacks. They gave you the vaccine. Drink orange juice. Apparently it works. Camden got her to get rid of 4 babies, dude. It apparently works.
From the cult, it says cinnamon is used to weaken a werewolf's healing power, which I guess could be what she's referring to. I guess the idea is that the cinnamon would weaken the werewolf fetus. Yeah. Oh my god, this is insane. In a subsequent interview, Spencer was asked to elaborate on the subject. She actually admits here to never taking a formal pregnancy test.
How did you know you were pregnant?
Because I got pretty sick and...
Dude, I remember hearing that. Oh man, how did you know you were pregnant? Well, I got sick. Do you... How do you know that you were pregnant then? You didn't even check. Camden has a 4-0 KD ratio. Shut the fuck up, Toastify.
I couldn't figure out why, and then I realized my period was late.
But you never took like a formal test.
He wouldn't let me.
I thought before you said that after the 3rd miscarriage you did. Was that what you were talking about with the gynecologist, or?
Yes, so that's the only doctor I went to, but I didn't go to one like right after the miscarriage. I was too scared to, because Camden kept telling me, you know, if you go to a doctor, they're gonna find out about all of this. They're gonna find out about the supernatural. They're gonna find out about God. They're gonna find out about everything.
They're gonna find out about God. Like nobody knows what God is. Okay, dude. They're gonna know about God. Listen, you can't tell anybody because they're gonna find out about God. Don't you know? Dude, everyone knows what God is. Like, what the fuck?
You need to keep this under wraps. You can't tell anyone.
Alright, so let's get back to Spencer's testimony. Spencer is indoctrinated into the cult, likening it to an MLM pyramid scheme. He even tried to force her to sell her 3DS and send the money to him. He then made Spencer and some of the main others, as Spencer says, the leaders of their own little packs, instructing them to seek out younger people to lure in. This admittance is quite controversial, as some argue itself.
I wouldn't even call it controversial. I genuinely believe she's like a Ghislaine Maxwell type that's trying to get away from Epstein. If everything if everything she says about Camden is believed to be true and that he instructed her to go out and find little girls to fuck, you are complicit in child sex trafficking.
Incriminating.
What was the operation like? Did he tell y'all, like, go to these places? And
So my particular recruitment style that he also encouraged others to do it this way too, was to go on Whisper and post about, oh, hey, if you want to join a family dynamic and be a part of a pack, hit me up on Kick, you know, or like DM me, and then we'd give them the kick. There was one time he did have me lure a girl like physically. We got an Uber and went and picked this girl up from like 30 minutes away from us, and she was like 13 or 14. He kept trying to convince me to convince her to have sex with him. There was a point where,
Like, you do have agency to decline, dude.
he had me on Whisper trying to look for other teenagers that wanted to run away from home, and we found a girl that was like 13 or 14. I'm pretty sure she was 14.
Spencer is sort of posing herself as the Ghislaine Maxwell of this entire.
Oh, what the fuck? That's so true, though. It's like, yeah, you know, like, he did tell me to do it, and I did do it, a.k.a. Ghislaine Maxwell. Like, there's no better comparison. Like, there's nothing.
Operation. Regardless, most of the roleplay is said to have occurred online, with daily life being much different.
Ghislaine. I don't know how to speak Jewish. I'm sorry, confusing that I'm slandering your people.
so in person, it was just like living with a loser.
Pretty much.
And none of like the fantastical stuff.
No.
Okay, so that was all online.
Yeah.
At one point, Max requests that Spencer describe her daily life while living with Camden, stating that he lived with his mom and brother. It's implied they're unaware of her
It's
staying
French.
there, and she
It's French. I'm fucking retarded.
was often forced to stay locked in his room. Despite this, Spencer revealed their full names publicly in one of Max's videos.
This video is for... I would like to extend my most heartfelt apology that this is how you have to find all of this out. But the fact of the matter is, your son, Camden Gerard Davis, has been victimizing hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds.
Yep, let's make it the mom's problem. Let's dox the mom. Let's do that. That will definitely stop this entire situation, is by doxing an innocent party in this
Mamamax,
situation.
The blackening of Blackula.
The blackening of Black. Imagine that's the title of his comeback video. That'd be great. But, like, where's the dad? Guess. Why did we have to say his full name? Camden Davis rolls off the tongue. I don't know, man. I don't know. But, like, why? Like, doxing the mom is maybe the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Why would you even do that? It's not going to save anything. It's not going to stop anything. Chef, no. Hey, don't play with the rug. No rug. Stop that. You've already destroyed this rug enough. You've already destroyed this rug enough. You little bastard. Spanish you are? I am half Spanish.
Of minors.
Spencer says she often couldn't shower for days as he didn't want her to get caught. It got to the point she had to urinate in jars and pour it out the window. Usually, he stayed with her, but other times he'd leave while she used her phone.
There was one point I was pissing in jars because he wouldn't let me go out of the room. Yeah, so I'd sit there and I'd piss in jars and then I'd pour it out the window. A lot of the times with him, but other times he would just go out into the living room and watch TV and make me watch something on the phone.
There was a lot of emphasis placed on her health, with
I still don't understand how the mom had no idea that there was another person living in a house that is a one-story home with, I believe they said 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms. I think 3 bedrooms.
Camden encouraging her to work out and drink water. He only gave her a little bit of food, with some days where he wouldn't give her actual food. She speculated he was trying to make her lose weight, possibly for human trafficking.
There was like 3 or 4 days where he would sit there and only let me eat saltines and drink water. I honestly don't even know. Maybe he was trying to make me lose weight or something, maybe more appealing to whoever he was trying to traffic me to.
In one breath, Spencer
It just doesn't make sense. Now, instead of him abusing you and using you, it's changed to, Well, he tried to traffic me to other people. Like, what the fuck? For human trafficking. Who would want to traffic her?
Says that day-to-day life was a breeze and there was nothing outstanding about it.
Day-to-day life was just, it breezed by, honestly. There was really nothing outstanding about it. Like, just watched a movie.
Because she was so fat. He was like, you know what? Oh, I just thought of something fucking horrible to say, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Just calm down. I'm not gonna say it.
And shows and shit, and worked out when he made me.
And another, she says there was
I'm not gonna say it.
Frequent physical and sexual abuse.
Instead of receiving love and actual care, I received physical abuse. I received sexual assault. There was one time he even tried to kill me. So he would beat me under the guise of trying to train me to fight, saying I needed to learn how to protect myself.
This continued until one instance where he allegedly tried to kill her by swinging a 60-pound stone vase at her head.
This fucking... The AIR's killing me.
This led her to fight.
Say it? I've already lost it. I'm gonna be honest. I lost it mentally. I had like something really fucked up to say. Okay, fuck it. I'll just say it. Imagine if this whole story is that Camden got catfished by this girl. Like, imagine if the story gets flipped. He got catfished. He's like, damn, I got this girl that looks like this, and she's probably good looking and shit. And this fat whale shows up, so he feeds her saltines to make her skinny. Fuck!
Back and overpower him, resulting in the workout stopping.
He like started getting a little too rough with it, and eventually he picked up like a stone vase that like was this fucking big. So that was like almost a 60-pound vase, and he was trying to swing it at my fucking head. And so I hauled.
And no one in the whole house heard that. Nobody heard that. Worst personal trainer, 0 stars, like a fucking Yelp review. But like, nobody heard him trying to kill you with a stone vase. Nobody heard that. Not a single person in that entire house heard that.
Glass into the room and everything. He drops it and tries to like pin me to the wall. And all I remember is like dodging underneath him turning around, and there was so much.
I just like, he swung this 60-pound stone vase at me. And I somehow, in an amazing fashion, like Neo in the Matrix, just went, ooh, I just dodged it. And then I punched him in the gut. And he went flying and hit the wall. Like, what the... I don't think you're that athletic, girl.
Adrenaline pumping through my fucking body. I lifted this fucking 200-pound man and threw him into the fucking wall.
I lifted this 200-pound man as a 16-year-old girl and threw him into the wall.
Poor Camden was late for work because he was stuck in human traffic. But it wasn't his fault that Spencer's so big.
Okay!
No wonder Max charged him with attempted trafficking.
We should not be making this many jokes. This is a very serious video. We need to stop making jokes. I think I'm making worse jokes than Chud does about this shit. Fuck.
The bed was against the wall, so he hit the wall, fell onto the bed slightly off of it, so he rolled off, and I kicked him so hard I sprained my fucking ankle. After that, he stopped physically abusing me because he realized I could fight back if I needed to.
Okay. Okay, dude. Okay, man. Sure. Sure. Sure.
And I think that was also another motivation to push me out the way that he did, because it was getting to the point where I was like, dude, what the fuck? You can't put your hands on me like that.
This is also where Spencer alleges there was a lot of sexual assault, in which she was coerced into doing things she didn't want to do. That includes a story where he came in while she was showering, opened the curtain, and urinated on her. It was part of...
There's another joke I can make there.
His supernatural belief,
but that joke I refuse to say, no matter how much anyone pays me,
that as a werewolf, he needed to mark her. This apparently happened to both her and another girl named Kayla. Kayla, or Michaela
I think Toastify would know where I'm going with that joke. I think he might be the only one. He might.
Was another member of the cult that lived nearby. Michaela was part of Max's investigation, referred to as Kai. Michaela actually went to school with Camden and had been in a foster home before returning to her parents. He had multiple girlfriends, with Spencer stating he was trying to start a harem. And don't worry, we'll discuss this further later on. For now, it's important to establish when Spencer left...
I think Toastify got it. I think he got it.
his home and returned to Texas.
Thank you for the 10th super chat, Fernando.
That summer, Camden...
Dude, I couldn't help it. I'm trying so hard not to make that joke. I don't need to activate people.
allegedly began trying to get her to sleep with men off of Whisper. Whisper is a social media app that allows users to post screenshots and confessions anonymously. He was adamant on finding her a new partner, but she refused, as she felt like it would be cheating.
So he kept trying to get me to sleep with men off Whisper and everything, making posts about it, and eventually I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that shit. You know, I had feelings for him at the time, and I was like, that's me cheating on you. I'm not okay with that.
A few days later, he apparently staged a scenario in order to get her out of the house. He claimed the Leviathans were coming before rushing her down to a gazebo and
the Leviathans are coming. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Leviathans. The Leviathans are coming for you.
his neighborhood.
And like a few days after I gave him that firm no, he was like, Leviathans are coming after you. You've got to get out. He like rushed me down to the gazebo that was in his neighborhood and had me use the phone that didn't have service on it that he had given me to call 911, because all phones can still do that even if you don't have service.
Spencer claims he told her to call 911.
Neither of them are screaming, yelling, or grunting during this intense fight of a lifetime in a not-so-big house with people in it.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's the part that I'm questioning. It's like nobody heard a violent struggle with a stone vase and a girl throwing a quote-unquote 200-pound man up against the wall, and nobody heard that. Nobody tried to break up the fight. You're not leaking the joke, chat, like people would leak a group chat. She's the female bookie. Okay. Okay, dude. What the fuck?
Which led her to be placed in a foster home. He then approached officers and pretended she was a random homeless girl that he didn't know.
I called 911 and they came out and were sitting there writing a little report, and Camden comes up as though he was just some guy in the neighborhood that always saw me there and would bring me food, you know, playing as though I hadn't been living with him for 3.5 months at that point. So he told me, go into a foster home or a group home and not come back to Texas.
Now, it's not entirely clear why Camden did this, other than not wanting her to live with him anymore. Spencer says she was convinced to delete everything off her phone. That is possibly why there's little to no documentation of this time period.
Literally had me like take the SD card out of my phone and like hide it in my bra. Like literally made me like delete everything, like all my contact with him, and like heavily like deleted that phone.
But you have, but wait, you just said that you took out the SD card,
She's the
put it in your
booby.
chest.
If she tried to sleep with anyone,
did you lose the
she
SD
dropped
card?
their internal organs.
I'm curious. Did she lose the ID card? Does that get brought up in this story?
Okay, and you were complacent because you loved him?
Because I loved him and because I believed that he was right, that somebody would find out and somebody would kill me and kill him.
This occurred halfway through July of 2016, with Spencer relocated to a foster home in Snellville, Georgia. She stayed there until September, which is when she was then moved into a group home in Georgia. Her description indicates it was likely a Rainbow Children's Home. It was shortly after moving into that group home that she saw Camden in person for the last time. He allegedly convinced someone to bring—
People get told to delete shit and still have stuff. That's what happened with the French girl. Well, yeah, and that also happened... That also happened with a fucking Craig Beckett. Everyone thought the DMs between him and that Emmy chick were fucking, were gone. And then she was able to request for that information to be sent to her from Twitter.
her to his house before beating and SAing her. The former was apparently to induce the fourth and final miscarriage.
When was the last time you saw him?
It was right before I was moved from my group home, or no, from my foster home to my group home. That was the night where he had induced my last miscarriage. And then after that, like, because I...
Oh my God, confusing. Why? Why would you do this to me? What did I even say? I've said so much fucked up shit now. Camden has horrible taste in fucking women. They are ugly as shit. God damn.
This video is...
I'm going to fucking hell. Confusing. Cut that part from this. Cut that part from the re-upload. Cut that part. Fuck. That's gonna be put in fucking Max's video. God damn it. Oh wait, wrong video.
I thought about whenever I went to see him the very last time that I was pregnant when I was living with my foster parents, he had beaten me and then sexually assaulted me. Like, he didn't even know I was pregnant, but when he saw me, like, protecting my stomach, he, like, really started going for it. He made me, like...
But you said that you didn't ever take a pregnancy test, so how did you know that you were pregnant during this time? Did I'm trying to remember. Did she take a pregnancy test for the 4th time? Because apparently we're up to 4 miscarriages. But she doesn't have a record of the first 3 or even know definitively if she was forced to have a miscarriage. She never did. It was the word is never. Never. The essay counter. Well, I was talking about people, so apparently 3.5 people.
Sneak phones in the group home to continue like talking in the group chats when I was at school.
In one of the leaked DMs, Spencer alleges Camden tried to seduce her 11-year-old foster sister, but this is not mentioned in the podcast. No evidence is provided for any of these claims. The infamous story of Spencer luring a 13 or 14-year-old also took place around this time.
There was one time he did have me lure a girl like physically. We got an Uber and went and picked this
180-pound girl managed to lift a 200-pound man off of the ground and threw him against the wall, and nobody noticed a thing.
Yeah, nobody nobody noticed, nobody heard anything, nobody saw the broken vase. Like, wait, what the fuck?
Girl up from like 30.
She never took a pregnancy test once. She legit just could have been sick, and vitamin C is a myth. I looked around the internet, couldn't find where the fuck the cinnamon is claimed to. So Tom was saying that the cinnamon might be because the werewolf thing is like cinnamon weakens werewolves or whatever, which is the most retarded shit I've ever heard in my life.
Minutes away from us, and she was like 13 or 14, and he kept trying to convince me to convince her to have sex with him, and I was like, no. Thankfully her parents got her the next day, but then me and Kayla
180, I think you're off at least 50 pounds. God damn it.
are pretty sure that he went over there and he raped her after I was with my foster parents.
See, the words pretty and sure make me not believe anything that comes out of your mouth, because you don't know. If you knew 100% and you are putting that allegation out there, you would say he did do that. Like, what? How can you run on I'm not sure? Like,
It's because we all had the same Uber account, because it was Kayla's parents' card, I think, and we saw the destination, and it was that apartment complex where he and I picked up that girl. Me and Kayla like kept like canceling the ride, kept trying to cancel.
What? You think Max wanted Joe Rogan to commentary on Blackula versus female Zangief rematch? Yo, what the fuck, dude? Holy shit. Thank you for the 5 QTV.
Cancel it. And then he like called us screaming at us. And then later, like about 45 minutes to an hour and a half later, I get a text from that girl's boyfriend saying that Camden had raped her and bit her so hard that she was bleeding and everything. Like,
Wilbur?
So that definitely made me feel like that was my fault, because the only reason he knew who she was because I was the one who got into contact with her first.
It's unclear why, if they were so adamant on preventing Camden from allegedly essaying a 14-year-old girl, they didn't alert the authorities. Spencer then remained in Snellville until a week before Thanksgiving. Her stay at the group home was miserable. It got so bad she asked her case manager from the Division of Family and Child Services to be returned to Wiley, Texas. In spite of this, she remained with the cult for another 8 months.
You saw him, and he did all that. A year passes, and then you officially left?
Yeah.
Why so long?
Like I said, after he had, things started to not really add up and we started questioning everything, I was still kind of in the hopes that one day maybe he would want to get back into a relationship with me. I was just so convinced that he was the only person that could love me. So I was like, just kind of in there because I was like, well, fuck it. Maybe one day he'll see how great I am. Maybe one day he'll decide that I really am the one. And then actually assaulted Kayla. And that was when I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's fucked.
Michaela Staten, as mentioned before, lived in Texas and went to school with Camden. In the You Can't Hurt Me podcast, Spencer reads out testimony on her behalf. Michaela was born on December 3rd, 1998. She states she met Camden in high school when she was 14. This would have been around 2013, after he first discussed his angel society. They briefly dated, but it didn't work out as she was in foster care. The two then met again when she was 17, which is when he told her about a girl he was dating. He expressed still having feelings and asked if she'd be interested in joining their relationship. Yes, this is the polyamorous.
Wait. They were both in high school together. She was 17. He was probably 18. No pedophilia there.
Relationship we talked about. Michaela agreed and things seemed fine for a couple months. It wasn't until this second relationship that his belief in the supernatural became apparent. While she didn't believe him, she played along as she enjoyed roleplay.
I never really believed that he was, but I enjoyed roleplay, so I played along. I didn't ever...
What? Yeah, I really like roleplay when my guy is having a schizophrenic meltdown that he genuinely believes that he's a vampire werewolf god. Yeah, I'm really into roleplay. What the fuck? What the fuck, man?
think any harm would come out of it. Throughout the course
No, that's clip. Fuck you.
of our relationship, he would be very hot and cold. Some days he'd make me feel like I was one of the most important people in his life. Other days he treated me like complete trash.
Eventually, Camden asked if he could bite her to turn her into a werewolf. When that didn't work, he said she must be a vampire. When she didn't grow fangs, he then set her role as Callie, the goddess. That was when he set up her and a couple other members to pull in and lead their own little families. Now, it's worth clarifying, the girl he told Michaela about was Spencer, and it was the three of them who started dating, as I said earlier. This is established when Michaela recalls being asked to break up with Spencer for him.
I never really focused so much on that because I was more so just in it because at the time I thought I loved him, and I did love her, and I wanted to be
But they were all still. Wait, so he was still in high school when he was dating Spencer. She was 16, he was 18. And the other girl, they were both the same age, met when they were 14. He met up with her again when she was 17, still in high school. I don't hear any pedophilia.
a part of that if it was a part of their lives. When he initially broke up with our girlfriend, that's me, he told me to tell her that he broke up with both of us. He wouldn't even do it directly. He had me do it. But he told me that if I told her that I was still with him, that he would hurt my family. That was the point when I realized I needed to try to get out because someone who loves you isn't going to make you lie, especially about something like that.
Now, the timeline of this
is the other girls recount that. Yeah, no, I'm listening to the other Spencer read the other girl's account of the situation, but this shit doesn't make any sense.
Is unclear, but we can infer it happened after Spencer returned to Texas in November of 2016. This is likely before Camden forced Spencer to date another member of the cult. It was allegedly a common occurrence, with Spencer dating a girl named Amanda. They had an online relationship, with Amanda living in California.
He had me date one of the survivors that I'm in contact with. You know, she and I were kind of together. She lived way out in California. I'm here in Texas. So it was a long distance thing.
It's worth noting Amanda also spoke to Max. Amanda's testimony was read out as a part of Spencer's podcast under the pseudonym Survivor C. Her testimony was also obtained in full from the evidence server. Amanda stated she was 18 at the time. However, she had a learning disability that caused her to be mentally 12 years old. This is
What the fuck? What? How is she? So she was 18 with the mind of a 12-year-old. How old is this girl now? Camden is not only Wilbur, he's JF. Next thing you're going to hear is that Camden ditched his wife in the woods for a hike.
changed in the podcast to 13 years old.
I also
Has this video changed your opinion on the case?
just been diagnosed with a learning disability, which in turn made my mind extremely innocent. Even though I was 18, my mind was stuck at being 13.
Her story begins shortly after graduating high school. While browsing a site called Experience Project, she learned about the cult. It was through this she got recruited by Camden's supposed sister before speaking to him directly.
We had to take this weird quiz that they made to see if we were eligible. I took the quiz and somehow passed it, and through there she introduced me to Camden. I immediately asked him for proof because I had a hard time believing what he was claiming. He laughed it off and said, "Okay, I'll send you proof." He sent me a video of his eyes and teeth shifting into a werewolf. I somehow believed it, and seeing it actually
I somehow believed it.
Scared me a little. He ended up
I'm such a fucking asshole, dude. I can't I can't take it seriously. I feel like such an asshole, but I can't take it seriously.
liking me and added me into another group chat where I met Spencer. Her and I became extremely close, practically besties.
The group chat was eventually discovered by her cousin, who quickly realized it was a cult. This resulted in a three-way call in which her cousin confronted Camden. Later on, for some reason, my cousin had gotten involved, and Camden got mad at her because she was trying to tell me that what he was doing was wrong, that it was a cult, and that I was in danger. I remember he made me get on a three-way call with her, and they were both arguing and he was raising his voice, yelling and cussing at her. Her screenshots to corroborate this were obtained from the evidence server. It's an iMessage exchange with her cousin recollecting the ordeal. "Yeah, I remember that fucker. Well, that's good they're getting things set up. Someone like him needs to be kept away from people. I don't fully remember the conversation, but I do know he was very arrogant and manipulative, and he didn't like that I could see right through him. I remember that it was a three-way phone call because he was paranoid about his phone number, and I said, "You're hiding because you are evil." You were on the fence and still wanted to meet him, which made me very worried and anxious, so I had to tell your dad for your safety. Unfortunately, Amanda's involvement didn't end there, only resuming when she got her phone back. They started calling regularly as Amanda developed feelings for him, but as time went on, Camden began to insist that she move out to Georgia. He allegedly pressured her for nudes and claimed they needed to have a child together to reincarnate her dead best friend. He also
What the fuck? Where did that come from? Yeah, we need to fuck and get a baby in you so that your baby is the reincarnation of your best friend.
Cheers, my horse. Love ya.
Thank you for the gifted member. Did you not hear what just came out of my mouth? Did you not hear that? Apparently, this girl thought that exactly what Toastify said. Apparently, this girl was hoping for a reboot card for her best friend, but she gives birth to her best friend, reincarnated. I feel like I'm developing schizophrenia trying to understand this.
became aggressive as she made excuses not to run away. I never ran away to Georgia. I always tried to find an excuse because I knew if I ran away, I wouldn't be safe anymore. Anytime I told him I can't move to Georgia, he'd always yell at me and threaten to kick me out, threaten my friend's soul, that God and the angels would hate me, and that heaven wouldn't allow me to stay when I die. It got to the point where I felt so torn that I didn't want to live anymore. The evidence server has screenshots of Camden asking Amanda to move to Georgia. The conversation is undated, but must take place before December of 2016. It appears to have taken place over Instagram with Camden's username as modern_grim. We need to talk. I need to get you in the car and come here now. What's going on? Just do it. You're scaring me. Can you or can you not? I can't. When can you? Either December or January. I had an interview for a job today, but I'm so sick I couldn't get out of bed. It was a similar pattern when Amanda tried to leave the group, as he'd always pull her back in. Then he told Amanda and Spencer they were soulmates and allegedly forced them to be in a relationship. This one time, he told me and Spencer that we were soulmates and literally forced us to be in a relationship. He made us buy rings for each other so we could get married in Georgia. He also made me give him my address so he knows where I live. It's worth mentioning that at some point Spencer was accused of cheating on Amanda. The story is recounted in Spencer's testimony.
There was one night that I had gone out with my friend, and I had already told my girlfriend at the time that, hey, my friend is going to be spending the night. I do want you to know that in the past I did have feelings for her, but I don't anymore. You know, just being like completely transparent with her, making sure that she knew that, you know, I'm not gonna hide anything from her. And that night we had gotten matching tattoos, and it's the one on my chest. And she spent the night, and next thing I know, Camden's calling in the morning. Then I'm getting calls from my girlfriend, and everyone's freaking out and screaming at me, and I can't even figure out what's going on. And then finally, from my girlfriend, I hear he's trying to say that you're cheating on me because she spent the night. Is this true that you're like in love with her still? And I was like, I told you.
What the fuck is going on? Now I'm more confused. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute here. So the girlfriend in California got jealous that she was dating, or she had the other girl over her house for one night, and they got matching tattoos. And she was 16 at the time during this, 17? What age do you have to be to get a tattoo in Georgia? Okay, wait. No person under the age of 18 shall be tattooed. Unless they tattooed each other like they did a stick and poke. Right? You know what I mean? Like a stick and poke. Like you know, you go to a festival or a friend of yours has like some sort of like homemade tattoo kit. That's what I'm thinking. That's maybe like the only way that could happen.
You everything last night, you know that. And when we got into a call with him as well, all three of us on Facebook Messenger, he's just screaming.
You can buy reg tattoo guns. What? Tattoo guns? Oh yeah, you can buy them on the cheap. So, all right, that maybe makes sense. Maybe they have a friend of theirs that tattooed them when they were underage. Okay, fair enough.
Claiming I cheated and all this, and my friend literally grabbed the phone, started screaming back. I can't even.
It's easy to find an official tattoo artist who don't ID. I don't know. I was struggling when I was fucking 16 to find one. I guess in New York it's just a lot more fucking strict with that shit.
remember, because my head was like spinning. I didn't know what to think, because I was like, you know, even though we were kind of forced into a relationship, I still did love this girl, but it was like, why is he trying to hurt her like that, and why is he trying to attack me like that?
Okay, now let's go back to Michaela's written statement from the podcast. Michaela recalls staying for a couple more months after they broke up with Spencer. That changed when she found out Camden was messing around with her now ex-best friend from childhood. It was only then that she distanced herself from the cult, being the first to actually leave.
I stayed a couple more months until I found out he was messing around with my now ex-best friend from my childhood, somebody I grew up with, and that was Kat. I think it was more so because of the distance that I kept from the beginning, the reason I was able to distance myself from the whole thing entirely. From what I remember, I was the first one to be able to actually leave, but it didn't stop after I left.
There's a few pieces of evidence that offer insight to this series of events. On August 27th, 2016, Camden updated his Facebook page to state he was in a relationship. This was likely related to a subsequent post updating his cover photo to a picture of Catherine Hempsall. Catherine was born on October 5th, 1998, making her the same age as Michaela. She grew up in Georgia and started dating Camden around this time. Interestingly, Spencer calls Catherine out by name. Spencer questions if Catherine is complicit before saying Camden rubbed her in their faces.
His girlfriend at the time, Catherine Hempsall, this is way after I'm in a relationship with him. I will never know if she was fully complicit, but there had to be a point where she realized what was going on, that something wasn't right, and that he was using her to lure in other people. But she ended up being rude to a lot of us for no reason.
Why does this sound... Okay, I'm killing... Jesus, I'm another dick move. Another dick move statement I'm about to say. She sounds like a scorned ex-girlfriend. Like, the cult shit might be accurate in the sense of, like, this guy was collecting girls that are, like, retarded, that believe in supernatural abilities, and he had, like, this whole polyamorous thing and pretended that way so that he could bang all these girls, right? That's maybe, like... That's maybe where it is, but when I hear that sentence... It sounds like she's just an upset ex-girlfriend and is conflating things higher than they need to be. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real. After I heard that sentence, it kind of just like sunk into me right then and there.
And it was probably because at the time, even before we realized like something was up, those of us that were in relationships with him still had feelings for him. It was like he kept rubbing it in our faces and being like, oh yeah, haha, this could be you if you were better. Like, it just always felt like he was using that to demean us in a way, like our feelings for him and our trust for him.
Michaela says that after she left, Camden sabotaged her friendships with the other girls, but it didn't work as she kept receipts for everything. It's unclear what these receipts were meant to be, as this predates all of her allegations. Meanwhile, Camden never had proof for his claims, such as telling everybody she was Cthulhu and that she was evil. The following is a Snapchat conversation from before August 29th, 2016. It's between Camden and Spencer, who at this point went by Cleo. The screenshots were obtained from the evidence server. Many have interpreted one message as Camden stating he has a boyfriend. I'm fairly certain it's Kat taking the phone and texting through his account though, but they do in fact show that Camden, Catherine, and many others had turned on Michaela. Nah, I'm done. I'm sorry, but still, I don't like hearing it. I just wanted to let you know what was going on. Everyone is laughing at her because she's so fucking pathetic. Well, I'm sorry. Nah, just go. I can't deal with anyone who deals with her, so if you have to be her friend, then don't fucking talk to me. Kat doesn't like her, I don't like her, Gavin doesn't like her, no one likes her, because she's not worth my time nor my thought, because that's exactly what she is, a thought. And I don't mean that hole over there, I mean an experience that I honestly hope would have stayed in my head. So please, for me, fuck off until I say otherwise. Camden, please, I'm sorry, I'll try and do better, I promise. I won't talk about her anymore to you. Nah, bruh, you legit don't know how many people hate her, so in return, they dislike you now. Just because of who I'm cool with? So I'm out. I don't need him hating on me too. Who? Who do you think? I don't know, I'm tipsy, I'm sorry. Look, it's Kat. Leave my boyfriend alone with this shit, to be honest. Bro, I don't mean any harm. You. That was for Kayla. What does the screenshot accomplish? Me trying? I didn't mean to. I'm cuddling him and it slipped. I hope you're having fun with that. Promise me you'll treat him right. Please? Just a screenshot? Well, have a good day at school tomorrow, I suppose. In her written testimony, Michaela states she tried to patch things up with Camden and Kat at homecoming. This would have taken place sometime in the fall of 2016.
At the time, I was still experiencing some codependency, and honestly, I'd been completely isolated because of him, and I was trying to...
I'm just really trying to understand that shit. It seems like this dude was just fucking around with multiple women and they all caught feelings for him. I'm gonna be real. Make sure you like the stream, guys. Thank you for coming out today.
To get my friends back, so at homecoming that year, he and his new girlfriend were there, and I spent the whole night sorting it out and trying to fix it so I could get my friends back.
He decided to bring her back, but kept her on the outskirts as he knew he couldn't trust her anymore. That is, to the extent of our knowledge, the context of the alleged assaults that took place in December of 2016. Michaela states that a week after her birthday, as well as on Christmas Eve, she met Camden in a church parking lot in the middle of the night. It was under the pretense of discussing issues within the cult. Instead, Michaela says that Camden SA'd her, though at the time she didn't necessarily consider it.
He brought me back, but he kept me on the outskirts at that point because he knew he couldn't trust me anymore. In December of 2016, a week after my birthday, and then again on Christmas Eve, I met him in a church parking lot in the middle of the night under the pretenses of he wanted to talk about some things that were going on within the group. Both times he ended up raping me in that church parking lot, and at the time I didn't necessarily consider it because I didn't try to fight even though I told him I didn't want to. I was too scared to draw attention to myself doing something like that in public, even though it wasn't something that I wanted, and he took advantage of that.
But Spencer's recount of this is different. Spencer claims that Michaela was essayed in a ditch outside of a church. Michaela also supposedly had screenshots of Camden stating he was going to go over there.
Was there a specific moment that led to your decision to escape?
Kayla getting sexually assaulted by him, like literally in a ditch outside of a church. It was
Okay, so now the fucking stories aren't matching. Oh, God, you've got to be shitting me. How do you read that during your interview and you're the one that's spearheading all of this information to take Camden down and not remember one of the more important aspects of the story? That's fucking crazy to me.
It was December of, I want to say 2017. Or was it 2017 or 2016? I don't even know. Timeline's warped.
This apparently led her to force Michaela.
I don't even know. The timelines are warped. You fucking, oh God, you're so stupid.
To go to the authorities. The assault is even said to have caused Michaela to get pregnant and miscarry. Now, what likely happened is that Spencer is confusing this with events that occurred later on. There's no evidence of Michaela reporting the assaults in December. Michaela states that after this, she did back off, only staying in contact with 2 or 3 people. Then, in 2017, Camden called and asked if he could come over. Michaela was visiting her grandparents' house who were not home at the time. This is the incident she would ultimately report to authorities, alleged to have occurred on May 26, 2017.
He started trying to pull down my pants, at which point I started fighting him, and I kept telling him, no, I'm not doing this. He kept trying, and I started screaming, at which point he grabbed my throat and told me if I kept screaming, he was going to kill me. He kept his hand on my throat the entire time, to the point that I had a bruise in the shape of his hand around my throat for a month. It's not even the worst part of it. When he was done, he went across the room. I kind of took a minute to process what happened, and when I sat up, he was looking at me and he was like, what just happened? So I said, you raped me is what just happened. And he literally broke down crying and was like, I would never do that to you. You were asleep this whole time. I could never hurt you like that. And this went on for 30 minutes where I had to comfort him because I didn't want to end up dead because I said the
That sounds like a schizophrenic blackout. That just sounds like a crazy guy that had like a fucking moment and he freaked up. Like he freaked the fuck out. I don't know. That's a weird one. Because I don't want to defend that if that's true, because there is a police report out there. But based on his pattern of behavior and the way that he said and done things, it leads me to believe that he has like schizophrenic meltdowns, unmedicated, and it doesn't remember those things. He could still rape somebody, obviously. I'm not going to say that he isn't that, potentially. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to get sued. But that's a weird fucking situation, because there's actually a police report for this one.
Wrong thing. He led me downstairs to the couch where we sat for an hour, and as I tried to convince him that I wasn't going to call the cops, that I wasn't going to report this as a rape, that I believed that it was just a dream. I believed he would never hurt me like that, and he wasn't that kind of person.
Michaela broke down once Camden left and called one of her best friends. That best friend was Spencer, who convinced Michaela to report him to the authorities.
Once he left, I finally broke down to one of my best friends, and I told her what happened, and she's the one who convinced me to call the cops. And that was me. It was only about 12 hours later, but I did call the cops, and I reported everything.
The following exchange was obtained from the evidence server. Why did you leave? Camden, I don't know if I can trust him right now. What happened? So, he came over to supposedly talk to me about the Grim Wolves. Well, no talking happened, except for about Josiah. I got raped, and he's claiming it was an apparition that looks like him, and I don't know. It hurts. Call the police, report him. I already took a shower, they can't do a kit on me anymore. My first instinct was to scrape my skin off. You still have a chance to get him. Honestly, Cleo, I'm terrified of calling the cops. I honestly think he did it because I just got in a relationship today. I think it was possessiveness. Don't be scared, he had no right to do that. You need to do something. I'm terrified. He's likely done that to other girls, Callie. I know, but what if Kat comes after me or some shit? You tell her that he had no right to do it and you're only there for a week. I'm staying all summer. Then you stay away from her, don't even talk to her. I'm so scared, Cleo. I know, Callie, trust me. But you have a chance to get him, because God knows who who else he's going to do it to or has done it to. My parents can't find out. And if they do, you're 18. They don't have to have your medical records. You can go in yourself. It'll be held confidential. I'm on their insurance, though. It doesn't matter. If nothing gets reported, he gets away with it. He's tried making me run away again for sex, tried making Anya do the same. Same with Ayala and Kalani. You can go down the road and call 911. I'm leaving the demons. I can't do it if he's going to treat me that way. You need to report him, Callie. It's too late. What proof do I have? I'm not leaving until everybody is out safely. You still have a little...
Wait, I'm leaving. What proof do I have? Did this just happen? You said you have a bruise on your neck for a month. That is pretty substantial. That's something that the cops can look at and go, that looks really fucking bad. So you're telling me this guy did this to you and you took a shower after to, like, clean yourself? But if there's, like, severe fucking bruising, and this is the conversation right after it happened, you have a physical wound to show that something happened.
Time. I'll call the cops. Michaela reported Camden to law enforcement the next day on May 27th, 2017. The allegations were taken quite seriously, with Michaela transported to the Northeast Georgia Medical Center to be examined. The relevant documents, the exam, and the police report have been released to the public. This next section is going to pour through those documents to understand the official investigation and why the case was ultimately suspended 2 months later. In the Gwinnett County Police Department's report, Michaela gives some details on her relationship with Camden. In her initial call, Michaela states she dated Camden but broke up about a year ago. It was a mutual decision.
Bruises wash off. Yeah, okay, dude. Bruises wash off.
But they remained good friends afterward. However, she then states he started dating her best friend who stopped talking to her. Michaela spoke with authorities again the next day. They first dated in December of 2014 for about a month. They broke up amicably before getting back together in April of 2016. He was dating another girl at the same time, resulting in a consensual 3-person relationship. Michaela states they broke up again in August of 2016 because of a misunderstanding.
The first time they dated, the suspect was caring and loving. The first breakup was mutual. The second time they started dating, he was dating another girl at the same time. The relationship was consensual between all 3 people. The suspect was aggressive during the second relationship. The victim described the suspect's behavior as, quote, snappy. The couple had consensual sex twice during the second relationship. The second time they broke up because of the suspect. The victim stated the suspect broke up with her because of a misunderstanding.
The police also spoke to Michaela's mother, Tamara, who gave her own perspective. Tamara explains Michaela and Camden were dating, but Michaela decided to break up with him. This led Camden to spread rumors around Brookwood High School about her cheating on him.
Tamara stated the suspect's name is Camden, black male, medium skin, short black hair. The suspect started rumors about the victim of Brookwood High School. The suspect started the rumors because she was going to break up with him. The suspect spread rumors about the victim sleeping with someone else. The victim and the suspect's relationship was not a good one, according to Tamara.
The two began hanging out again after homecoming in October of 2016. They would hang out with other people and by themselves, but in public places. Interestingly, all of these details are contested by Camden. He claimed to have only dated Michaela between March and June of 2016. He went so far as to state he never had sex with the victim. The week of the incident, Michaela was house sitting for her grandparents. It's alleged to have occurred at that home. That day, she told Camden that she was seeing someone else. He called her while she was hanging out with Josiah Dykes, her new boyfriend. While the victim was at Josiah's house, the suspect called the victim and heard Josiah's voice in the background. The suspect told the victim he was happy for her. Michaela and Camden then made plans to hang out that night. Michaela noted she made out with Josiah the day before, which could have made him jealous. Camden allegedly arrived at 8:30 p.m., where they watched movies for about an hour. He spoke to her about the archaic moon pack. He wanted her to guide souls as a grim wolf. At around 10:30 p.m., Michaela goes upstairs to charge her phone. This is allegedly when Camden follows her into her room and assaults her.
When they walked in, she said Camden immediately became aggressive. He pushed her down on her bed and began taking her clothes off of her. He forced himself on her and raped her. Davis did not allow her to leave the room for a long time after the incident.
The assault lasted about 30 minutes, with Michaela claiming he went so far as to threaten to kill her and finish off with her dead body. When he
Jesus Christ. But
finished, Michaela went
I'm so curious how it gets thrown out. Like within the 2-month time frame.
Straight for her clothes. He began pacing around and claiming it was the result of an apparition. This continued for an hour.
See, I didn't pre-watch this. You could tell because I'm actually listening.
He didn't let Michaela leave, standing in front of the door and pushing the victim back. Eventually, she was able to get out and told him to leave. He is supposed to have left the house by 1:30 a.m., ordering an Uber. If we're to believe Spencer from earlier, they were all using Michaela's Uber account, but authorities don't mention receiving any evidence of this ride.
Camden finally left the house around 1:30 a.m. Michaela said she felt dirty and took a shower. Since the incident until the time she called police, she took about 3 to 4 showers.
After Camden left, Michaela called Josiah Dykes and told him about what happened. Michaela also called a friend named Cleo Slayton, who lived in Texas. They communicated over Kik. Michaela spoke to Cleo around 11:44 p.m. while Camden was apparently still at her house. While talking with Cleo, the victim stated she believes the suspect did this because he was upset about the victim and Josiah. Police spoke to Camden over the phone on July 12, 2017. He already knew of the allegations and said it was not possible, as he never went inside the victim's house. In the initial call, Camden assumes the date to be May 25th, the last time he visited Michaela's home. He claimed to have just left work and went to drop off a cell phone car charger with his girlfriend, Catherine Hemsall. It was found he only worked one day that week, on May 23rd. Camden then made a second call to the police. He claimed to have mistaken what day they were talking about. He clarifies that on May 26th, the actual night of the incident, he was at his friend Jorge Reyes' house. On July 13th, Camden was brought in for an interview at Gwinnett County headquarters. Camden stated that on May 25th, Michaela asked him for a phone charger cord. This brought him and Catherine to her house. Catherine stayed in her vehicle while the suspect went to the front door. The suspect states he never went inside the house and only sat in a chair on the deck. The victim was running in and out of the house doing stuff. He left her after staying for about 30 minutes. The next day, Camden stayed at Jorge's house. He was dropped off by Catherine. He was adamant that he never went to Michaela's home on May 26th. Catherine affirmed this.
This is interesting. Now we finally have some fucking information here. So Camden was contacted by the police about this. So within that contact, he vehemently denies being in the home at any point. But again, that's like him saying that. Are the cops going to bring up, in the police report, do they bring up like asking Jorge to confirm the alibi?
Stating she dropped him off at around 4 or 5 p.m. Following his call with police, Camden spoke to Jorge over Facebook. Jorge explained Camden had nowhere to stay that night. He recalls Camden arriving at around 6 p.m. They never left the house, and Camden left the next morning around 10 a.m. No other messages exist to corroborate this story. Michaela deleted all of her messages from her phone. Camden's phone broke, and he bought a replacement. This prevented police from verifying his GPS location. On May 27, 2017, local authorities spoke with both Michaela Staton and her mother, Tamara Griffin. Michaela was transported to Northeast Hospital for a sexual assault exam. Camden also consented to a buccal swab. The sexual assault kit and buccal swab kit were sent to GBI for testing. According to the report, there was no known physical evidence to support the suspect was at the house the night of the incident. There was a small visible bruise on Staton's upper right arm. However, there was no evidence to support how she received the injury other than her testimony. That also clearly contradicts her later claim.
Wait a fucking minute. Wait a fucking
Mother, Tamara Griffin. Michaela was transported to Northeast Hospital for a sexual assault exam. Camden also consented to a buccal swab. The sexual assault kit and buccal swab kit were sent to GBI for testing. According to the report, there was no known physical evidence to support the suspect was at the house the night of the incident.
He was even subject to a rape kit. And there's no bruising on her neck, just a bruise on her shoulder. But she said that the bruising in the statement that she gave to Spencer was on her throat for a month. But in the cops' report, it's a small bruising on the shoulder. Yeah, they couldn't find any werewolf cum. The rape kit can't pick up werewolf cum.
There was a small visible bruise on Staton's upper right arm. However, there was no evidence to support how she received the injury other than her testimony. That also clearly contradicts her later claim that it was around her throat. The police report actually takes several issues with...
Wait, hold on. What was that?
Other than her testimony. That also clearly contradicts her later claim that it was around her throat.
Yeah, it does. Almost immediately.
The police report actually takes several issues with Michaela's credibility. Her own mother stated she could be manipulative. Tamara also claimed Michaela...
Dude, your mom just threw you under the fucking bus. Holy shit. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Oh my God. I wasn't ready for that part. The mom straight up just snitched to the cops. She's like, listen, I'm going to be real. I'm here for my daughter, but she is a manipulative bitch. Like, what the fuck?
Is aggressive when offered medication. Because of this, the case was suspended on July...
Oh, what kind of medication? Aggressive off of what kind of medication?
July 13th, 2017. The police report contains no reference to the previous two incidents in December 2016. Neither are many of the pieces of evidence she claimed to have sent to law enforcement. Michaela did, however, describe the cult to them. It was called the Archaic Moon Pack, with around 50 to 60 followers in 2017. The group also had a Facebook account called Guild of Divinity. He was known as Cade Demon within the group, believing himself to be a werewolf. He and his followers believed they could change forms. He apparently accused Michaela of being an evil being and called her a Leviathan. The night of the alleged assault, he spoke to her about becoming a grim wolf who was supposed to guide souls. In her own police report, Michaela lists Camden's birth date as 11/11/1800.
I did see this. I did see this. I saw this before everyone like started fucking what's the word I'm looking for here? I saw this before like Queeman and the rest of them like put it out. Once it was leaked. I saw this. You're 17 to 18 years old, and you fucking put his birthday down as 1600, and he's 216 years old. I could just picture the cops being like, okay, this is fucking crazy. He's how old again? What year was he born? 1600? I'm pretty sure he's dead. No, he's real. He's a vampire, werewolf, pedophile god.
Listing his age as 216 years old. If we assume Spencer is confused about the alleged assaults, the timeline starts to make a bit more sense. It was the accusations in May of
1800 at 60. Doesn't matter. It's still a long-ass time.
2017 that motivated her and Amanda to leave the cult that summer. They created a group chat together where they began collecting evidence.
And that was when I was like, no, he cannot get away with that. So I was a little rough with it, I won't lie, but I kind of forced her into going to the authorities. I was like, either you call them or I will. Even if I wasn't there, I wanted to try and help. And, you know, she gave them all the photo evidence and everything. But after that had happened, I was like, no, we got to collect all this evidence. I messaged my girlfriend. Well, she was in that group chat where, you know, Kayla was telling us everything.
This effort continued for
was alive for the Civil War. Which side was he fighting on? The South or the North? I'm so curious.
months where they documented anything that could be used one day. Spencer claims they finally left for good on the 4th of July. It had little impact, as after they left, Camden simply lured everybody that they had pulled out back in.
My girlfriend, we had broken up at that point. We realized that, like, yeah, we love each other, but not like that. So we had, like, broken up and everything, but we were like, it's time, we gotta leave. And we left, and he lured everybody that we had pulled out.
He's fighting for the South. He was a Confederate soldier.
Back in, like, everyone that was in our separate packs, he pulled every single one of them back in.
He was fighting for Transylvania.
After we had been sending them evidence.
It had little impact, though. Several screenshots from this time frame were obtained from the evidence server, but they paint a somewhat different story. The least relevant seems to be the only one with a date from June 11th, 2017. It shows a conversation between Camden,
which is really fucking suspicious to me, that they have these DMs, but none of them have dates except for one screenshot. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't make fucking sense, dude.
and an unknown individual. If I ended up staying eternal, would KD have been my wolf? This may be related to another undated conversation. The sender appears to have been in a polyamorous relationship with Camden and KD. Hey, I think it's best if I leave. This whole sleeping with you thing right now is just not making me comfortable. I know I'll lose KD, but this is something I don't think I'll ever be comfortable with. I also miss the feeling of being human. For once, I'm not in pain or feeling sick. I met an amazing guy who makes me happy, and I'm afraid if I tell him, he won't want me anymore. Not only that, but I miss Cleo. She was my best friend, and it's gonna be hard without her. I'm not asking you to bring her back because I think it's best if she's out, but I just don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm not exactly happy, and all this pressure on me puts me in a bad place, so I think it's best if I leave. I'm sure Mary or Ayala wouldn't mind taking over the Eternals. They're both amazing leaders. There are 2 recordings from a group chat showing Amanda, Spencer, and Megan. Megan isn't Michaela, as Megan had to be told of the accusations. The recordings show messages from June 28th to June 29th, 2017. However, they completely contradict the idea of an escape, as it shows Camden had left them. So, Camden left us all completely. Jalexa said she heard him
You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. This is some jilted lover shit. I'm saying it. We escaped. We escaped the cult. Yeah, you escaped it because he fucking left you. Like, what are you talking about? What?
packing bags on the phone. Maybe the police are after him. We're officially out now. The recording also contains audio of Camden announcing his departure.
Hey, this is Kate. I just want to go ahead and give you your fair warning that...
Bro, okay. I'm gonna be real. I didn't think he was gonna sound like that. Maybe I'm... Nope, not gonna say it. I wasn't expecting that voice. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't expecting that.
that I am leaving. This is goodbye. I am done. Obviously, I tried to put together a family, but I only made disaster. I wish you best of luck in life, and I wish it for all of you.
The exact motivation for this is unclear, with the other undated screenshots offering little insight. Whatever, I'm done. Bye. What the fuck? I'm trying to calm down here. Yeah, okay. Seriously, are you seriously just going to leave like that? The next is from an iMessage group called Eon Tree Pack, where Spencer says, Camden broke it off with Kayla and I. In a screenshot dated June 30th, 2017, Spencer claims that Camden is threatening her. This could be in reference to an argument she had with someone about the allegations. The individual sent it to Camden, who becomes enraged when they confuse Callie with Carrie. Tell her Cade says she has one more time to bother his family before he makes a visit to Texas and certain people, then block her. This screenshot shows another message. Also, Cade says that Carrie will be replacing you. They'd begun to relay the accusations to other members, including Jalexa Demon. Jalexa Demon was the pseudonym of an Australian girl named Jess Randall. Jess and her accusations of theft are acknowledged in Spencer's podcast.
It was disgusting, the stuff that he was asking for. And if they didn't give it directly to him, they gave it directly to the girl that lived in Australia, the one that bought my bus ticket. He had been stealing money from her at that point already for about 2 years or so. She's deeply manipulated. It's honestly very...
Wait, the Australian benefactor that bought everyone their tickets to get to Camden. What the fuck is going on? This is the most complicated cult of all time.
Very heartbreaking because he stole thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. Once I ended up leaving, he somehow convinced her that I stole her money. The girl's name is Jess. It's the same Australian girl that he had sending him thousands upon.
Max, please. Okay, listen. I don't like you, Max. I don't like you at all. Make sure to get receipts of what Spencer's paying for, because I don't really believe all this bullshit that they're saying about Camden. And if she's being accused of stealing money by somebody, just in case, you know, just in case, you know, whatever's left of your Patreon money, you might want to keep receipts of what's being paid on.
Thousands of dollars.
Jess defended Camden at the time before accusing Spencer of stealing her money. Cade didn't Kayla. Lol, she has proof of it. Like what? Y'all will see soon. Just leave Cade alone. God is done with you. All of freaking heaven is done with you. That money vanished the moment Cleo arrived. I knew Cade for 2 years before Cleo came, and not a freaking cent was taken. Just letting you know, something could be done about the money Cade and Kat took from you. Well, you and that thief have no chance of getting Cade in prison while I'm still alive. Cleo was the one who stole the money. Wow, Cade has seriously manipulated you that much to believe that Cleo was the one who stole your money? Dude, she's been broke. She has nothing. You can't seriously believe that, Jalexa, and you're her slave. This may or may not be related to a screenshot of an individual claiming Camden proposed to her in order for her to stay in America, but that's a piece of evidence I've been unable to place definitively. I mentioned before that after they left, Camden was able to lure many people back into the cult. That included Carrie Sutton, who sided against Spencer when she reached out. Carrie seemed to have a much different perspective on the events in general.
My family didn't know that I had left until a few months later because Camden had lured Carrie back in, and I was in the process of contacting some members that I knew were still in it.
If you could speak to your younger self, knowing what you know now, what would you say?
Dump Carrie and fucking report this Camden. Literally, as soon as she would have introduced me to him. You know what? No, I'd go back even further. You meet a bitch named Carrie, don't trust her. Just run, girl. Just run. If she likes Mike Kim and is named Carrie, just run.
What about Carrie specifically? Is it just because she was the catalyst to everything?
That on top of the fact that she did threaten my little sister when my sister was 34.
So tell us more about that.
That was just a whole fucking Wattpad thing.
While still in the cult, Amanda had attempted to recruit new members on Wattpad. Her post read, if you are human, want to learn about and become supernatural.
Bro, fucking supernatural photo. I need water, bro. This fucking, oh my god, I'm getting pissed. Fuck, man. I fucking can't with this shit. Oh god, I'm so
and between the ages of 11 to 18, please PM me. The post received a new comment asking if she was still active, to which Amanda said no and warned it was a cult. This led to a massive argument in which members of the group threatened to kill them. Haha, you think this is a rage? If I were in a fit of rage, I would have found where you live, gotten on the first flight there, and slit your goddamn throat. But most interesting were comments left by Camden and Carrie. Camden provides what is perhaps his only known public response. This is so insane. Dear everyone reading this foolishness, this is exactly what happened. These two young women were removed from a group chat of people who were getting along and being civil. They always cause problems and issues by making assumptions with no foundation or proof. Once they were removed, peace was restored and everyone has been happy since. I once dated Spencer, and once I moved on, she became petty and angry at the fact that I no longer loved her the way I once did. I'd never hurt either of them. Then, once it's supposed to be squashed and we go our separate ways, they decided to keep it going by messaging people's parents and irritating people to the point where I have to talk to these people and convince them not to press charges for harassment. It's truly unfortunate how they feel, but this is out of hand.
On Wattpad, bro. Fucking Wattpad. Is this really his response to everything? That's crazy.
Public response. We're removed from a group chat of people.
I gotta listen to that like one more time.
Saying, dear everyone reading this foolishness, this is exactly what happened. These two young women were removed from a group chat of people who were getting along and being civil. They always cause problems and issues by making assumptions with no foundation or proof. Once they were removed, peace was restored and everyone has been happy since. I once dated...
Bro, well, we can't say bingo because Camden hasn't said anything recently. Spencer's also completely delusional. Max doesn't have anything. Like, the police report doesn't show anything. He may have been a dick. We don't know that. But, like, I don't believe the pedophile hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of victims are just out there in the world. I don't believe any of that shit. What else? And the whole jilted ex-lover story is starting to really make concrete roots here.
Spencer, and once I moved on, she became petty and angry at the fact that I no longer loved her the way I once did. I'd never hurt either of them. Then, once it's supposed to be squashed and we go our separate ways, they decided to keep it going by messaging people's parents and irritating people to the point where I have to talk to these people and convince them not to press charges for harassment. It's truly unfortunate how they feel, but this is out of hand. It seems even back then, they were placing blame on people's parents. Carrie was much less civil, disputing the claims against her before issuing threats. Let me tell you a little something about Spencer. She is a liar. She is nothing but a liar. Now, I can say this because I know her, I went to school with her, I was the reason she met Cade. She also says that Cade raped me, but funny thing is, I was actually engaged to Cade, so if he did rape me, it would have been consensual. See, the thing about Spencer is that she's a manipulative liar, and this isn't an—
Are you just saying that you can't get raped even married? Okay, dude. What is this?
Camden had left them. So, Camden left us all completely. Jalexa said she heard him packing bags on the phone. Maybe the police are after him. We're officially out now. The recording also contains audio of Camden announcing his departure.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my dick. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man. Like, for real.
As it shows Camden.
See, that was the voice I was expecting. That was the voice I was expecting. Fuck! that was the voice I was expecting. What? Toastify, what the fuck?
Over-exaggeration. Ask anyone who has ever actually met her. I share an ex with her, and even she agrees that Spencer is fucking batshit crazy. I'm sick and tired of seeing Spencer all over Ayala's friends and family's page, so you can either tell her to stop it immediately, or tell her I'll see her and Leah soon, because I know where Spencer lives.
I'm here stroking my dick, Camden Blackula Davis.
I know where her parents live, and I know where her grandparents live. I will also be calling the cops and filing a police report for harassment if this doesn't stop. I don't give a fuck how many allocations she has. If she doesn't have the DNA to prove it, then it won't come through. I'm not someone to fuck with because I'm not actually scared to do something. This better stop, and it better stop soon. There's also a screenshot of Spencer's reply to a person named Mary. Mary, I'd like to know what I took from you. If I did, it'll never be as much as what Cade took from me. Cade talked me into running away, and even after the fact, after I turned myself in and was with my foster parents, he convinced me to stay for him. All the time I could have spent back in Texas with my great-grandfather, I can never get that time back. Hell, he almost died because of me. He had a heart attack after I left, and then a stroke after I refused to see him in court because Cade told me not to. But you also want to know what else your humble leader did to me? He convinced me to go to his house and have sex with him at the end of last August and September, and I still talked to the guy that drove me there. I also almost got arrested for walking to his place at 2 a.m. one day because every full moon we have to have sex. Oh, and don't forget the miscarriages he made me induce. These screenshots give us a relative date for a conversation with Hannah Doyle, who was supposedly friends with Camden. Hannah alleges that she left because Camden showed up at her house one day with no real warning before threatening to kill her husband. The validity to these claims is unclear. On July 5th, Jess began promoting a YouTube channel called Guild of Divinity. In the comments, she began soliciting recruits through Kick on her account Death's Follower 1. Jess also created a GoFundMe page, describing it as an institution to protect and care for the sick, homeless, and injured supernaturals and their families. I have seen a lot of them that
GoFundMe probably made no fucking money.
Have been killed by hunters or high-tech traps, and a lot of these tribes have been wiped out. The campaign raised $1,000 with a user named Holly Denied donating $500. This was then reported to Traffic 911, who was in contact with Spencer at the time. Spencer claims that Camden tried to sell her underage images on Kick and may have done so with others.
There was one point where he did send CP of me, like sent it to some dude on Kick. He was sending it for money, but then the dude never paid him. But he would get that. He would get nudes and stuff from the other minors. I don't know exactly what he did with them. There's a possibility he could have been selling them. I didn't send any pornography myself, but Camden did record a video of him and myself when I was 16 and living with him. I know that's probably still floating around out there. I reported that to Traffic 911. I talked about it to the detective too, and like I said, he still said, not my jurisdiction.
There are also screenshots of her conversation with Traffic 911, who did seem to be in contact with the FBI. Excerpts of this exchange were obtained from the evidence.
Okay, that's good to know, because I remember when we were looking in the Traffic 911, we weren't sure if they actually contacted actual agencies.
Server. I wish I knew where the investigation is, but the FBI is tight-lipped about all of our leads. So glad you're doing better. Would the things I just sent you help them at all? I've looked at it, and since it isn't breaking the law, I don't think so. It's unclear why no action was taken because, as Mudahar points out, this should have immediately been given to the FBI.
Now, see, this is again where I'm just going to straight up say it. If you told Detective Fontana that there was evidence of child pornography and you were the victim, they would immediately have thrown you to the Federal Bureau right there.
Yeah, that's what they would have done. They wouldn't have pushed you anywhere else. That's what I was saying before. Like, they wouldn't be putting you anywhere else. If there is CP out there, you get sent to the FBI because they want to track that down because that is highly illegal material, prosecutable by the federal government.
There, because again, it's child pornography, and they would absolutely.
Depends on the officer. I can attest to this. I have reported the distribution of CP to law enforcement, and even when I was in contact with the police on the phone, they kept saying that's not my jurisdiction, go to this one. I would call that one, they said this is not my jurisdiction, call federal. I reported through CyberTip and the FBI page, and nothing would ever happen. We received.
But Max, you have to admit, like, you're saying you talked to the detective in person, right, Spencer? You said that there's child pornography of you floating around. That's a little different than like I found this hub online.
All right, so this is where the timeline as we know it ends, with most of the evidence following this point not having a specific date. There is evidence implicating Carrie as a recruiter, including this Kick profile. The context stems from allegations they tried to crowdfund an abortion for someone in the pack. In another conversation, the would-be recipient is identified as Carrie. Like, why the f do you need everyone to leave after me and Val said we weren't donating to help that girl get an abortion? Literally all I said was I wouldn't donate because I don't support abortions. They also said she's dating some hybrid guy, one that turned by magic. It was Carrie who needed the abortion. Now, there are several miscellaneous allegations that can't be sourced or substantiated. Masters Little Harley, a nude model, alleges that Camden tricked her out of naked photos by posing as a photographer. Then he allegedly pressured her for sex, which is when she realized it was a ruse. This isn't the only claim of Camden soliciting nudes under false pretenses, which is especially concerning when some of these people were underage. Ayala is one of many pseudonyms used by Ishmael, but their testimony is part of Spencer's podcast where she's referred to as Survivor A. She also appeared on a stream with Max and Spencer in January of 2024. Ishmael was recruited after posting in a supernatural group on Whisper. She was scouted out by Amanda, who introduced her to the cult.
I'm formerly known as Survivor A in Spencer's podcast. Kind of like everybody else, I met this group on Whisper, and I was just kind of roaming around like these different groups, and I saw that there was one for Supernatural.
I just noticed, I saw someone in chat, you went over the Epstein documents. Bro, come on.
I made a post just asking if anybody could explain this to me, and then someone reached out to me who was a recruiter for this group. She's known as, I believe, Survivor C in the podcast, but we'll call her Crystal. And
I'm not convinced this poser wants to fix issues of PEDs more than he wants to virtue signal the shared disturbing stories. So true. Isn't KEG a part of my chat or like some of the community's chats? W.
She quickly introduced me to the cult. Of course, I didn't think it was a cult at the time. I just kind of, at the time, I was a scoffer. I just kind of thought it was silly, and I was laughing at it. But very quickly, I started believing it.
In her testimony, Ishmael claims to have been kicked out after an argument with Spencer.
When an argument broke out between Spencer and I was kicked out. People being removed occurred regularly over varying matters, and sometimes people would be added back. But this time was different. I believed I would be gone for good. Getting kicked out meant losing your connections to God and thus your magic, and you would become like a ghost to the family. To think I had gotten so lucky to find all these people and then lose it all in an instant hurt like hell. I only had one person I could go to, an account I had been introduced to previously as Camden's deceased sister, which he had claimed was run by her spirit. There, I was instructed to connect with another account, a woman claiming to be a witch named Giamara. I later pieced together this was more than likely Camden under a false identity.
The following events are said to have occurred when she was 14 years old.
In our conversation, she claimed she could make me a vampire again, and I would be welcomed back into the family with more people I would bring in. She told me one of the girls was furious with me in addition to Spencer, and was even trying to kill me to prevent me from coming back. She said she was willing to use her magic to help me, but doing magic like that could be dangerous on my body, and she needed to evaluate it to make sure I could handle the transformation. I was 14 at this time. From then on, using this account, Camden Gerard Davis actually abused me repeatedly for several months. As part of this evaluation, she instructed me to send multiple pictures and videos of myself nude. At first, I said no. When she insisted this was the only way, I asked if I could keep my underwear on. She said no. I said I was insecure about my body, and she said, "Do you want me to compliment you or something?" She promised me that no one else would see it and that she saw that kind of thing every day. It was this or lose everything. So I did it. I thought after a few, it would be enough, but she wanted to see between my legs. Each time I thought it would be the last time, but she always needed more.
This is alleged to have gone on for 6 months. When Ishmael attempted to leave the cult, she was blackmailed using the nude sent to Giamara. It's unclear how Ishmael determined this account was even run by Camden. Spencer actually affirms these events in a way that might be legally self-incriminating. She apparently received the underage photos on an account called Hush Hush. You know, the pictures of a 14-year-old, which is...
Oh, you've got to be shitting me. So now she's implicated in 2 separate instances, something involving child exploitation. First recruiting the girl that she says Camden probably had sex with. Now she also received allegedly nudes of an underage individual. Why is everyone writing URR? What the fuck is going on? No. Fuck that shit.
Is not legal to have.
Things went back to normal until an unknown account called Hush Hush directly messaged Spencer some photos and videos of me, the ones I had sent to Giamara. Hush Hush threatened to put it all on porn sites and social media unless they were allowed to speak with me. When Spencer reported this to me, I was mortified. Spencer told Hush Hush she would call the police.
URRCP edition. This is such rape. You guys are... Bro, Nick has fucking ruined this community. It really is the catchiest fucking show in this community, and I fucking hate him for that. Nah, I'm cool with it. You are our Black Edition. Yeah, on the last day of Black History Month, I'm going over a potential black rapist. What a win.
If they didn't leave me alone. I didn't want to tell the police because I feared the situation involved supernatural forces beyond their power, and they would also get my parents involved. Then Camden called me. He said that if I came back, I would be protected by angels and all of this would disappear. He said my time was running out. I complied and went back. He later claimed to have found the source, explaining that someone hacked Giamara's phone. He said he found them and destroyed their phones. It's like it never happened, he told me.
Spencer claims that Ishmael has since reported the Giamara incident to the FBI.
I filed tips on the website on the actual FBI website.
That was given to us by one of the lawyers who specializes in cults.
Other survivors have done it as well, including the other one who, Ishmael, the one who also was solicited pictures from because she was 14.
It's unclear what action Spencer took, if any, at the time in alerting the feds that CP was being actively produced and traded. In the conversation between Spencer and Michaela after the assault, she alludes to the Giamara incident. Ayala is a minor. He solicited pictures from her and tricked her into thinking he was Giamara. That means the Giamara incident must have occurred before May 27, 2017. It allegedly escalated with attempts to get her to run away to Georgia in order to have sex with him.
Then it kind of evolved to some other stuff. She told me that I needed to go to Georgia and sleep with him because Crystal, she had said that, oh, Crystal's really upset with you and she's going to try and kill you. And she said the only way I could be protected is if I slept with Camden because he would give me some kind of magical protection against her. And I couldn't do this obviously because I was 14 and I had no way of getting there or anything. But she was really persistent. She was like, oh, you can just run away. You can just steal your parents' car. You can just use a map.
Ishmael says she left the cult sometime after May of 2017. There are 2 more accusers accusers to discuss for the sake of being comprehensive. The first is Survivor B from the podcast. Survivor B claimed to have been recruited on Kick when she was 13 years old. The following is an abridged transcript of her testimony.
My mind is very foggy, but I remember some things. I was recruited by a former member, male, via Kick Messenger. I watched a YouTube video about werewolf packs, and in the comments he commented his Kick and said they take in members. He was very kind, referred to himself as Cade's son, but for some reason he had left or got kicked out, and I then became in direct contact with Cade. He and Kat seemed very lovely, and I got put into a group, got moved around quite a bit to different groups as the different...
There's so many of this fucking... There's so many layers to this shit. There's so many fucking quote-unquote victims. I'm just trying to figure it out, more or less. Like, Tom did an amazing comprehensive video. This is my thing, right? There might be legitimate victims of this fucking guy, right? There might be. But the one girl with the rape kit situation, where she said she had a bruise on her neck for a month, but the police report stated that she didn't have a bruise on her neck whatsoever. Camden did his own rape kit and had an alibi that he wasn't even at the house and had a witness to that. Now, is the witness potentially tampered because that's his girlfriend? Yeah, but if the friend corroborates his alibi, there's not much the cops can really do. And especially if you don't have bruising on your neck as bad as you say it is, cops can't do anything about that.
Welterweight championship of the world.
Like, there might be real things happening with some of these girls on the Kick Messenger apps, but Spencer and the other girl, I feel like, are making shit up. And the other girls might actually have something there. But I don't know that. Because this has been so convoluted because of Max and Spencer. Like, it's all their fault. It got this fucking bad.
Creatures appeared, vampire, witch, werewolf, etc. He had promised I could be turned into such a creature and that they would take me away from my bad family to join their family where he's the alpha/father. It seemed like a perfect life. I was promised, and at 13 years old, you have a fantasy.
Tinfoil theory. I'm not going to ignore it. I like tinfoil theories. What if the ringleader of the whole time was just Spencer? Blackula is also a weirdo, but Spencer is an innocent and probably even worse. I don't know. That's super tinfoil, if I'm going to be honest.
World you live in to get away from reality. I only started getting comfortable when I kept getting sent to a witch, female, who asked me to undress for a ritual to be turned or inspected to lure out an inner wolf. Further than that, he'd find out about my life, ask questions, have sympathy, act like a father figure, had me call him dad as well. Kat was very quiet most of the time. I was also asked to draw blood for one of the rituals and photos and video call, I believe, and the plan was for me to go to them in Georgia. I believe he went to a university there, but can't remember for what. I saw a room that looked like a basement that he said he could be made into rooms. A few of us planned to run away to join them, to live with them. I can't remember much else. Sorry, it's not useful. I don't remember the witch girl's name either. The girl's name is Jess. It's the same Australian girl that he had sending him thousands upon thousands of dollars. But I know within the group, some of us were sort of made sisters and cousins and things like that. She contacted me once after all this was over for me and asked me not to tell Cade she contacted me. To my memory, I don't remember what she told me. I believe at this point, I had just wanted out. I was very young and didn't even know what I was doing or getting myself into. I wanted so much to be part of a family and be anything else other than me. I never stopped to think what all this meant or what he could really be doing.
The last accuser we'll be discussing is Ellie, who came forward on a stream with Max and Spencer. Ellie joined the...
How the fuck would nobody see him getting thousands upon thousands of dollars? Yeah, I don't get that either. Like, where did that money go? Where does Frankenstein come in? Listen, Frankenstein is Red Pagan's corner. Like, let's just be real here. That is a... Big Bungie nailed that fucking description of Red Pagan almost hauntingly perfect.
Group in 2016, shortly before entering college. She was recruited by Jess from the Experience Project. The first conflict she recalls is when she realized there were
Camden's worst crime, money laundering. Yeah, it's all the money laundering Camden was doing.
Children as young as 11 in the group. When she expressed concern about this to Jess, Camden removed her from the chat.
Later on, a couple months down the line, I found out that there were really young kids in the chat, like I think as young as...
Is his dog wearing a fucking sweater? I just got so distracted. I was like, what the fuck is that dog wearing?
before entering college. She was recruited by Jess from the Experience Project. The first conflict she recalls is when she realized there were children as young as 11 in the group. When she expressed concern about this to Jess, Camden removed her from the chat.
Later on, a couple months down the line, I found out that there were really young kids in the chat, like I think as young as 11, and I went straight to Camden because I had told Jalexa, like, it's not okay to be having these people in the chat. They're really young. I don't feel comfortable talking to them, and neither should you. Then I went straight to Camden and I was like, hey, Jalexa's not listening to me, and we have super young people in this chat, and I don't feel comfortable with it. And it should have been a red flag to me that he just immediately like removed me out of the chat and was like, oh, hey, sorry, that will never happen again. Thank you for telling me. And like, I thought we were having like a semi as adult conversation as we could for being a teenager. And I was like, great, won't happen again, because sadly I was very trusting of people. I shouldn't have been, but I was. And he added me into a chat that I think the youngest was like 16, 17, and I was like, great, definitely people I can still talk to.
Camden kept a line of communication open, however, and they started talking every single night. It wasn't long until he asked if she wanted to go on a date with him and Kat. He even asked for Ellie to quit college in order to be with him.
He really wanted to know like everything. And then later he was like, hey, I know that you're single. We should like go on dates. You should go on dates with me because I know you've never been on a date before. I know now he was like uber serious about it, which is kind of gross to me because at the time he had his girlfriend Kat, and he was like, you could go on a date with me and Kat and it would just be really cute. And I was like, oh my goodness, like a friend date, so cute, thank you. Obviously it never happened because I did not live in this state, but he really wanted me to be there, and he would like ask me to like quit college and like run away and move and like go live with him. He's like, you can quit and come live with me, and I was like, I really can't.
Her story then skips ahead 2 to 3 years later near the end of college. Ellie began dating her girlfriend, who convinced her that Camden was manipulative and they should leave. Ellie specifically says, we left, implying they were both in the cult. However, they end up returning after a month.
Closer to the end of college, we were still talking, and like shit had happened.
How are you in... Wait. You're in college and you fell for this shit? Are you fucking joking? You're fucking joking, right? You were in college and close to the end of your college years, went back after a month. You were in your 20s by then. How mentally ill are all of these people? Everyone in this fucking story just seems mentally fucking ill.
And I was just not quite paying attention because I was doing full-time school, full-time work, and I was super tired. And I was like, hey, I think I should probably like leave just because like I don't have time for you. And my girlfriend at the time was like, hey, this shit's crazy. Like stuff he's...
On a serious note, how is this proving Camden's guilt? All we have is vague testimonies. Yeah, that's it. It's all vague testimonies. That's it. That's all they have. They have one police report, and the girl's mother threw her under the bus and said her daughter can be manipulative and really fucking crazy without her medication. That's it. The rest of it is all just fucking the rest of it is literally just spoken word testimony. How can Max definitively call this guy a pedophile rapist?
Says doesn't make sense. He's super manipulative. And I was like, no, it's fine. He's not manipulative. He like really means what he says. And I just fully believed him because I grew up in a house that my parents were very, very manipulative of me. And so I just thought it was normal. So we left. And stupidly enough, I left for like a month, and I was like, maybe I should talk to him. Maybe my girlfriend's wrong. And like, I should have trusted her, and I did not in that case, just because like I thought he was so real. And I thought maybe she was wrong and just didn't see what he saw. After that, I was talking to him for a while, and I was like, listen, like we should believe him. Like he's so believable. And
you're in your 20s. You might just be retarded. Okay? You might just be fucking borderline vegetable brain dead retarded, that you are in your 20s saying that you believe a man that can transform into a fucking werewolf. You might just be retarded. What the fuck?
And he like has proof that he's real, and like I trust him completely, and we should just rejoin. And after a while we did, just because I don't even know, honestly. I couldn't tell you why we rejoined at that point.
In 2020, Ellie graduated college and moved to Georgia with her girlfriend as she had promised.
Then I graduated college during the...
Okay, synthetic, why did you have to say that? This person can vote. Fuck! America is fucked if we have these people among us.
pandemic, so everything was really crazy. We ended up moving to Georgia away from my home, and just like I promised, which was a huge mistake, because then we were in person with them, and we had visited a couple times before we moved, just to like get the feel of things and like make sure they weren't like psychopath crazy killers. You know, you never know who they are, even after you've talked to them for forever. And I guess like it was I put on my best behavior when you're around, just so you move here type deal, because they didn't do anything crazy while we were there. But after we moved, they started doing like kind of iffy stuff. They would make us eat and drink things we were allergic to because it would get rid of your corruption, is what they told us.
Ellie says she was told to smoke weed all the time despite being allergic to get rid of her corruption. They were also encouraged to drink a lot of alcohol.
You're in your 20s! What are you doing? You're in your 20s! You know that you shouldn't do that. Why are you listening to this random dude on the internet? Your parents failed you. I'm sorry. I'm going to be a little bit fucking mean to this person. Your parents failed you miserably to the worst degree imaginable, that you had to believe some random dude on the internet that you could be some sort of vampire fucking werewolf if you smoke weed when you're allergic to it, eat McDonald's, and drink all day. That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Camden also apparently starved and overfed her, including one night involving a particularly large order of Wendy's.
He would also starve us and then overfeed us. And like, I remember one night specifically, he made us eat like triple cheeseburgers from Wendy's and like 2 fries. And if we didn't finish it, we were in trouble.
There was a point in early 2020 where...
What the fuck? Why?
Ellie states he planned on taking all the women on a cabin trip to impregnate them.
He did, however, at one point tell all the women that we were going to take a cabin trip, and that at that cabin trip we were all going to get pregnant. And at the time I was like, what the hell? Because I'm kind of gay and that doesn't work like that. And
I'm kind of gay. It doesn't really work like that. I don't get pregnant. But we're all taking a cabin trip into the woods with a man. But I'm kind of gay. What is this bullshit? This is total bullshit. Stop saying clipped.
He told us we were all going to have 2 kids.
She left the cult in 2021, with one of the final straws being in conversation.
All right, listen. You're all going to say clipped. Somebody make a ChrisTheNarc out of context Twitter account then. If you guys are going to keep saying clipped all day long.
In which he apparently called all women cheaters and fantasized about mind control.
Shit just got real crazy towards the time that we were leaving. The first time that we met again, that night that we returned, because he was like, you have to come over, like right now, I know that you came back, come over. And I was like, I'm exhausted, I just drove. You don't want to know how many hours I drove. He's like, I don't care, you have to come over, we have stuff to tell you. And as soon as we came over, he was like, listen, all women are cheaters, all females, no matter if it's, and this is his words, no matter if it's bugs, animals, women, like human women, whatever, you are all cheaters. And I was
this dude just sounds like a fucking goddamn incel. You know what? All women are cheaters. I'm dating all of you, but you're all cheaters.
Like, what?
He is the incel king.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? That's stupid. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I think that we should start mind control. We should mind control all women because you guys don't deserve to have any sort of say in anything. I don't remember.
What the fuck? You're in your 20s. Why are you listening to him? Whoa. What the fuck is
the cinnamon-scented coat hanger failed, and this 20-year-old is the result.
Okay, I stopped talking. The perfect time of that dono, and I can't believe I just let that play. What the fuck? The cinnamon coat hanger failed. Oh, God.
What I was thinking at that point, but I was like, I think maybe it's time to rethink my decisions about being here.
They orchestrated their...
maybe it's time to rethink my decisions. Not when he overfed me, starved me, made me smoke weed when I was allergic, said he was going to mind control me. You know, like, maybe, you know what? After he said that that all women were cheaters, that's what I know. That's what I knew. I had to leave. What the fuck is wrong with you?
their departure to be as graceful as possible, still afraid of him due to their proximity and the fact that he apparently owns a gun. They attempted to warn his other wives, only to be met with an alleged physical confrontation by Kat and 2 others.
They're terrifying people. Like, he had a gun in his closet, and like, I know they had done crimes before, I don't know what, but they have. So we texted the girls, the wives, I guess, and we're like, hey, I think we need to talk to you, because we're like, maybe we can get one of them out. Like, maybe they'll leave with us if we tell them like what we think, and we think that he's off his rocker and something's wrong with him. And so 3 of them came over. It was Kat, Reagan, and Aaron, and they sat in the house with us, and we kind of just told them, like, hey, we think Camden's fucking nuts. Something's not right, and you should probably leave, and if you want to leave, you're welcome to stay here with us. Aaron did not take that very well, and she tried to fight one of my friends before storming out of the house, and then Kat was like, I think we need to go.
She left and drove around town, to which she was then flooded with texts and phone calls. Upon arriving home, she claimed she found tire tracks and vomit in the driveway, as well as handprints all over the windows.
When we did go home, it was dark outside because we had like gotten dinner and like waited in a parking lot for a couple hours. And when we did go,
I'm gonna say it. We have to deviate from this story real quick. I need to address the URR going on. It's gonna be really funny when Diorio gets a fucking article written on him. Did you know that there is this content creator on YouTube named Nicholas Diorio? He runs a show called The Ultimate Rape Review. And then it's like Taylor Lorenz writes the article. And she goes to interview Nick. And Nick's sitting there and he's like... He just sits there looking directly across Taylor Lorenz and goes, "It's time!" Like, that's all he says. He just screams, "It's time" at Taylor Lorenz. Nicholas Diorio, curator of The Ultimate Rape Review. What are your thoughts on this? I would kill to see an interview with Taylor Lorenz and Nick Diorio about URR, and every time Taylor just asks him a question, he just screams, "It's time" as loud as possible. Like...
home, there was tire tracks in our driveway and vomit. It looked like somebody had tried to get into our house because there was like handprints on all the windows. Stuff just looked like it was messed with. Like, we had trees in the backyard that were like bent and snapped where they weren't before. Boot marks in the dirt near the kitchen window that you can like try to get in through. And obviously did not get through. But later on, I found out that they were gonna try to.
He turns around and tells Taylor Lorenz it was all for the pinballs, sweetheart. And he just walks out of the interview. He's like, "Listen, I don't think you understand. I bought a premium Jurassic Park pinball machine thanks to URR."
Kettles Dingleberry and DIY HRT
Oh,
distributor
God.
Bob Posting got convicted of bank robbery today. Has been on trial since 2020. Oh, Canada indeed.
Interesting. See, Kettles Dingleberry and DIY HRT distributor Bob Posting got convicted of bank robbery. Bank robbery? What the fuck?
break into our house and to kill our cat, because I have no idea, but that's what they were gonna do.
Even though over 2 years had passed, Ellie says she still lives in fear due to her proximity to Camden. Not much substantial is learned from this testimony, a conclusion agreed upon by Max's own subreddit. But there is an important common thread throughout these stories, the allegation of children being recruited into the cult. It's important to remember these are, as with everything else, allegations. But the material explicitly advertising the cult to children as young as 10 years old is extremely concerning. One video even references erotic roleplay. There was an apparent sexual component to this group, with Camden having affairs with many of those involved.
For one, mentally manipulating us. One thing that he did was he tried to get like multiple girls in the group to be in a relationship with him. Like, he basically wanted a harem. He would just sit there and love bomb everyone and, you know, make everyone think, oh, it's really gonna happen. He would also lure us in with the promise of getting people away from their parents that may not treat them the best, you know, or maybe they are in abusive situations with their parents, trying to lure them in and manipulate them.
The idea of children that young being involved at all is unsettling, no matter how you look at it. Not only that, but according to the survivors, the cult remains active to this day.
I have a question for you guys. Are they still active? Like, what is happening with their activity? Are they still
Colton?
Active.
Yes, they are still active, which is why I've been like having such a sense of urgency with everyone. It's like, this dude is still active. Can we please get some help?
Like, we have evidence, but we won't say what it is. But yeah, we know 100.
We have evidence. Okay. Are they still active? Yes. That's why I have such a sense of urgency. Max. Spencer responds with, we do have evidence, but we won't say what it is. But we know 100% that they're still active. Why aren't you telling everybody? Just do it. Okay, so let's play the hypothetical game, right? That they had somebody who recently left the cult and has a bunch of damaging information on Camden. Should have handled, like I said before, should have handled this all behind the scenes before making a public spectacle about it.
Percent that it is active.
With that, we've reached the end of the case against Camden Gerard Davis so far. Even with all the evidence I've shown you guys, it's difficult to come to any definitive conclusions. The reliability of Michaela and Spencer should be called into question. There are big
I fucking massively call that shit into question.
inconsistencies, and it's hard to ignore that the vast majority of these claims originate from the same two people who were discredited and oftentimes come across as jilted exes. Michaela took her claims to the police, who came up with nothing. If it's true that they all use the same Uber account and payments were processed through Michaela's account, this should have been part of the evidence. But Spencer says this when asked about it by Nick and Mudahar.
So you found this 13-year-old girl on Whisper, and you organized her travel through Kai's the grandmother's Uber account, right?
Not with her permission. We were logged into it previously when they allowed us to use it to go over to Kai's place.
I don't imagine that we have a receipt of that, right?
I don't think so, because that's the same grandmother that let Kai's grandpa actually assault her.
The report...
Wait, hold on. Now there's just another random sexual assault. Grandpa rape. Grandpa rape. We're just gonna call that grandpa rape. I know it's not Spencer's rape, but there is a grandpa rape now. So there's grandpa rape. Blackula has alleged a bunch of rapes. Then there's alleged car rape, and then there's Carrie rape. So we have about 4.5 people, because we don't know if the cousin of the car rapist was also involved in the rape. There's so much rape.
Also contains no reference to any assault occurring in December. It does, however, reference the SA claim
Justify no.
against her grandpa. Tamara stated there are allegations of her grandfather molesting her. Remember, she was house sitting for her grandparents that day. They were clearly on some kind of speaking terms in spite of the accusation.
I was visiting my grandparents' house and they were not there at the time, which in hindsight, I probably should have waited until they were back.
This is all without mentioning Michaela's account from a stream with Max and Spencer. It was her proper public appearance taking place on November 28th. Michaela states she met Camden when she was about to turn 15. They began dating near the end of the school year, which is allegedly when he SA'd her.
I met him when I was 14, almost 15. We didn't really start actually hanging out much until the end of that school year, when I had, found my group of friends, but he would constantly ask me to sneak out of my parents' house, knowing what they were like to me. He would frequently force me to do sexual things with him that I didn't really want to do, but I didn't feel like I could tell him no, because we were together at the time. And I didn't realize that until much later. There were a few things he did that, was probably sexual assault, but being a kid and being, what I thought was in love, I didn't ever say anything.
I mean, ignoring the blatant timeline issues, Michaela claims she was a kid. The police report was filed when she was 18, and Camden is only a year older than her. Michaela also says she had to move to Kansas to get an abortion, and I have no idea what to make of that.
Okay. I just wanted to double check something. For some reason, I thought it was illegal in Kansas to get an abortion for some reason.
Kept threatening me and threatening to...
In the back of my head, I'm going, Kansas sounds like the kind of state that it's illegal to get an abortion.
to my family. So I up and moved to Kansas, where I...
So yeah, the police report says she's 18, but she's saying 15. Yeah, that's why there's such heavy inconsistencies between this girl and Spencer. Two of the people that are the most vocal in this entire situation. The ones that have been publicly platformed multiple times. I don't believe either one of these women.
I met some...
Also remember this is back in 2017 before Roe v. Wade was overturned. Also true.
And they helped me get an abortion for that.
Spencer has so far little to no documentation for the alleged abuse. Her story includes allegations against not just Camden, but Carrie, and there are equally unsubstantiated attacks against her own character. This has only been exacerbated by Mamamax's decision to play favorites amid all of this, while ignoring the fact that 3 of the women who came to him admitted to recruiting children for a cult. Spencer even admitted to physically luring a 13 or 14-year-old and receiving CP of a 14-year-old.
The common misconception that I get was that it is my fault that others got hurt because I pulled them into it. And I mean, in a sense, that's true, but again...
In a sense, it's not in a sense. What is... Okay. Keffels did the same goddamn thing. Well, it was probably wrong for me to tweet out in anger and get involved in the Voss drama. Spencer, it was, in a sense true that I fucked up. No, you fucked up. You recruited a 13-year-old and received nudes of a 14-year-old. It's not in a sense. It is, you said it.
As a child.
Yeah, it's either or it isn't. There's no in between in this situation.
And I was kind of forced into it, or else I'd be kicked out.
This is the exact type of activity Max should be against given his previous catalog. It is irresponsible and potentially dangerous to categorize recruiters with the victims they recruited. There is a substantial difference between her role and the 13-year-olds who were lured in by her. Not to mention the fact that he put her in charge of the entire legal fund for the victims.
Where's the donations going towards? Not that I doubt it won't be going to a good cause for survivors. It's going to the legal case. Spencer's handling all the money. I am sending...
Spencer's handling the money. Even though there's technically a potential allegation out there that she misappropriated funds from the Australian girl that Camden was catfishing this whole time. And then on top of that, she's also known as one of the recruiters for these girls to be quote-unquote raped by Camden. But yeah, she's totally in charge of the legal fund. Like, what the fuck?
it to her. She is the financial manager of the legal case.
Bro, a financial manager of the legal case doesn't have a fucking dollar or a goddamn name. She has no idea to manage money. I'm sorry. She has no fucking idea.
Less than a month after Max started his We Are Real campaign, Michaela was begging on her Facebook for $20 to buy baby wipes, diapers, and eggs for her child. There are ethical boundaries being crossed, and Max arguably introduced a profit motive.
That is because I'm contractually obligated to see this case through and make sure Spencer is taken care of. Spencer is moving over to me in a couple of days, actually, and we're going to find her own...
Why?
The following contest is sponsored by the Open Hands Foundation. 1 round. For the URR Senior Division, Dementia Weight Championship of the World.
Holy shit.
Place, and I will be paying for all of it.
By giving her free room and board, it opens her up to the argument that she could be exaggerating claims for personal gain. Everything Max has done has only assisted Camden's...
What does he mean by contract, though? Okay, so I think I said it earlier, but this is my interpretation of when he says, I am contractually obligated, okay? It's either... So this is the thing. He's either being hyperbolic within that statement and saying that to, like, add more credence to it or make it sound more important than it really is, where it's like, I am contractually obligated, because that sounds like an important thing. It sounds like I am very much invested into this, so much so that I would consider this a contractual obligation. Or you could take it in the other perspective, where he has a GoFundMe. This GoFundMe is people donating money so that he can continue on his predator hunting escapades, and that would be considered contractually obligated because the money is being allocated for that. So my question would be, if it's based on the Patreon stuff, what has he been doing all of these years before this with that money? Nothing. So now randomly a story comes in, and now he's going, I am now contractually obligated to see this investigation through. I don't believe you.
Lawyer if this were ever to go to trial. I mean, that should be obvious by the fact that he's having them...
I honestly, Spencer had him sign a ChatGPT contract, yeah.
...recount their experiences off the cuff at length on podcasts and live streams. Max has actually been in contact with the victims for the last 2.5 years. That could have major consequences for the case. Websites and apps like Kik only retain user data for so long, and a lot of evidence could have disappeared in those 2.5 years. The accounts are actually so old that it's unclear if subpoenaing info would actually bring anything useful up anymore. Max's incompetence goes beyond ethical concerns. It borders on negligence. He gets even basic details of the story wrong.
I wouldn't even say borders. I would just say full-blown negligence. He literally admits he's never gotten a predator put in jail. He doesn't know the process.
Sponsored by viewers like you, thank you.
Yeah, Blackula is sponsored by viewers like us. So, like, this is the thing, right? I wouldn't even say it's borderline negligent. I would say full-blown negligent. I really would. I'm firmly in the stance that I believe what Max has done throughout this entire situation is so blatantly negligent that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. When Xylee confronted him, he's like, I have no idea. I've never been through the system before. What have you been doing for 2.5 years with these girls then?
down to how he introduced it in the first place.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet.
By Spencer's own account, she was introduced to Camden by a real-life friend, not
I have no knowledge of any of this.
The illusion of a supernatural family on some random corner of the internet. It's easy to sympathize on some level, as it's quite difficult to follow, but it was his responsibility, his choice to take it on, and he failed in conveying the claims to his audience. He doesn't grapple with any of the evidence, he doesn't appear to have linked the evidence to the testimonies, and he also doesn't question claims that only appear in the screenshots, or vice versa.
I reviewed the evidence, I just haven't had the context as to what it is pertaining to.
So you looked at the evidence, but you don't understand.
Yeah, in the exact timeline, which has been why just one of many reasons why it's been such a struggle to create.
Isn't that crazy, chat? Isn't this a crazy fucking situation? Tom and Bernie put this together in a few months. Max had 2 whole goddamn years to get the timeline down. 2 years. 2.5 years to get the context down, and Tom and Bernie did it in 3 months. Not even 2 months. 2 months. They put it together. How are you taking 2 whole years to do this shit? 2.5, almost 3 fucking years.
The comprehensive timeline as I'm waiting on a lot of different things.
But you see, that's why people are inflamed with you right now.
It means that there's a much larger issue here. Not only do we have no idea what's going on, it seems like you don't know what's going on.
I do know what's going on. I don't know the complete story.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know the complete story. God fucking damn it. I remember how much I hated hearing that.
Complete story. That's your job, just to get the complete story out there. You understand how crazy this sounds?
Many of the names we've discussed are mentioned in Spencer's testimony, but are given little to no context, which only muddies the water to anyone attempting to understand what happened. There are undeniably aspects to the case that implicate Camden as a deeply disturbed individual. The fact that the cult existed.
I agree at the deeply disturbed part.
And was actively seeking out children should make that apparent enough.
Yeah.
It seems there was a level of control Camden enjoyed, being able to toy with people's realities, to be able to convince them that he possessed supernatural abilities, or even convince them of it within themselves. Not only that, but it shouldn't be overlooked that his main alibi in the police report was his allegedly complicit girlfriend. But there's clearly...
That's what I said before! Fuck, thank God. I thought I was crazy. Because that is something to throw, like, as a potential issue, is that his alleged girlfriend at the time was the only witness to him being at the house and not being inside, but just sitting on the porch doing nothing. And then his friend as an alibi. But it doesn't, but Tom didn't bring up the fact that there was any sort of conversation with his friend. But the problem is that the girl in question with the police report is an unreliable narrator multiple times over. So now we have 2 competing stupid motherfuckers with allegations
going on with the cult of Camden Gerard Davis. It's not an entirely fabricated case. The fact that many people's takeaway was the opposite should be an indictment of how unfit Max is for this role, and how irresponsible it was for him to make predator hunting his entire self-centered savior complex persona. I've been Turkey Tom.
Based way to end it, Tom. Based. I'm gonna be real. I think Camden may be guilty of some aspects, right? Like maybe he's like Tom said, a deeply disturbed individual. Schizophrenic potentially. There are aspects to it where we still don't know what those girls went through in the context of like the nudes being sent and stuff. But I think my takeaway is that Spencer and the other girl, the one that did file the rape report, they have been fucking this up so bad. And then Max on top of that, not knowing what the fuck to do, has ruined any sort of real potential investigation to go through anything. I really believe that this was so brutally fucked up by Max, the one girl, and Spencer to the degree that there is no way to reasonably salvage this story ever again. I really hope the girls that actually were abused by Camden, allegedly, get justice. I do hope that. But I believe Spencer and the other girl are complete bullshit artists. I don't know about the other ones. I can't sit here and be like, well, that's not what happened. Like the one girl that was like 14 years old and sending nudes and shit. The one girl that was like, yeah, I was in college and I just listened to him. You're retarded. You're just fucking stupid. You're just an idiot. I'm not listening to you. Spencer and the other girl, not listening to her. The other ones, they might have a little bit more credence, more credibility because they weren't the ones making a fucking sideshow circus about it. Okay? There you go. That's what I think about it. Max is a fucking loser. And Spencer 100% could not have thrown Camden. I don't believe that for a fucking instant. How much more do I have? Oh, fuck me. How long have we been live for? We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're about 2 hours and 39 minutes in. Yeah, fuck it. We'll keep going. I don't know if we have to clip that part confusing. I don't know if that's worth it. We'll probably clip this part, actually. The James part. I think we're going to click on, I think we're going to check. We're going to clip this part out. So I wanted to talk about this for a bit. Now, guys, I know on this channel, I've been a hater of Hbomberguy. Okay? I don't like Hbomberguy. I don't like his fans. Specifically, fuck you, YouTube drama subreddit. You could suck my balls. I don't like any of you. I think you're all wastes of fucking cum. I think your parents should have fucking taught you better in life. I really believe that. I truly do. Because that video was shit. For the internet historian part. And then there's the other aspect where he complained about drama channels and content mills. Right? Fuck all that shit. But, and I have yet to talk about this part, the James Somerton part is maybe the most substantial part of the Hbomberguy video. This dude not only deleted his entire catalog of videos, he tried to obfuscate what was going on. Apparently, he released a video trying to downplay what happened, and now he's released a new video. This came out 3 days ago. A measured response. Now, as you can tell, it's already starting off pretty good. Content warning, discussions of self-harm. Okay. That's how you know that this video was definitely well-crafted. Fuck. I'm going to hell. Good video starting off. It's good video starting off. So we're going to watch James's response to the Hbomberguy fan base, Hbomberguy himself, and his team. I'm very excited to see this. What is the issue with him? I do not like him because I believe that he thinks he is more goddamn important than he really is. The majority of his fan base are soy as shit and are some of the most whiny crybaby pieces of shit of all time. Then you have them calling internet historian a Nazi because he made edgy jokes at one point. Hbomberguy tried to say that internet historian had trolls remorse. Like, bro, you are not that important. First. Second, you used to hang out with Medicare. So don't pretend that people making edgy jokes back in the day are a bad thing. Just shut the fuck up. Shut up. That's why I don't like Hbomberguy. Yeah, Hbomberguy used to run with the Gamergate people. You know? Like, this dude pretends like he was never a part of that. Ever. And it's crazy that he pretends that bullshit. I haven't seen this and aren't involved in his fan base, so it makes sense I wouldn't know about this. Yeah, his fan base became incredibly fucking soy after the plagiarism video. Just remember that. I'm not coming at you, Steven. I'm just saying that if the active fan base of that guy sucks.
Just a disclosure, this video is monetized, but revenue from it will...
Good start. Good start. This video is monetized. You gotta disclose that you're making money off this video. But no, it's being donated. It's being donated. Remember when Jalen said that about the Technoblade shit? All money, all the revenue is gonna be donated to a cancer research fund. Okay, Jalen. Yeah, okay, dude.
Be sent along to Hbomberguy's team to be dispersed to the people whose work I plagiarized. If his team won't accept it, I'll be making monthly donations to Wikipedia and TransLifeline going forward.
I will be making donations to Wikipedia. What the fuck? Who donates to Wikipedia? Am I retarded? donates to Wikipedia? Who makes an apology video saying they're going to donate to Wikipedia? Who does that? I'm fucking sorry. What the hell is this?
Forward. You may have also noticed that a few of my past videos have gone up on the channel again, and revenue from those as well will also be sent along with the revenue from this video. Over the last couple of months, I've been getting in touch with the people who I plagiarized to apologize one-on-one.
Bro, he's acting like he's raped people. Like, what the fuck? Like, listen, this dude is a blatant plagiarist, okay? I'm not going to be this hardline stance on plagiarism, though. I just don't give a shit. I don't have enough time in my life to care that a dude ripped an article off. But this dude was pretty blatant with it. Like, there's a degree, if it's like here or there, I'm like, I don't really care. If it's like here or there, if it's used as a reference material and some things are picked from it that might be considered plagiarized, I don't really give a shit. But when a dude makes his entire career off of literally just reading other people, like literally 100% ripping off the hard work of a dude, a journalist, who is putting out articles. Whoa! I'm sitting there going, okay,
Hey,
that's
Chris,
kind of gay.
This whole Camden situation is like a boiling pot of retardation with a big hint of madness. Also, sorry for the late comment.
Jesus.
One instead of a mass.
But, like, I genuinely don't care about plagiarism. I don't have a hate boner for plagiarists. Hbomberguy's community does, but this guy in particular, I will admit, sucks.
Apology. It's a bit difficult because many of them don't have public email addresses, so I'm still working on it, but it is a top priority of mine. I've heard back from a few of them, and they were actually incredibly nice, accepting my apology and just imploring me to do better in the future. So I want to thank them publicly for that. There's plenty that I haven't heard back from, and I completely understand that in many cases.
Maybe they just don't know who the fuck you are. Like, who's this James guy? Why is he DMing me that he plagiarized my work? What the fuck? Like, I'm just picturing these journalists getting emails from this guy frantically like, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I've plagiarized. He's like, a lot of them don't have emails. They won't answer me. I'm just... Who is this? Who are you, little bro?
I wouldn't want to talk to me either. I also want to...
I wouldn't talk to me either. What the fuck? This video is like he's apologizing for raping people. This is fucking stupid.
To apologize to my audience, though. You trusted me to be a good representative of the queer community, and I was not that. I tried to be.
A good representative of the queer community. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Oh, God. Bro, why do these people let this pedestal, like, get to their head? They get a big subscriber count, and then they start being like, well, I became a pillar of the gay community. I became a pillar of the black community. I became a pillar of the white community. Like, bro, like, what you... Stop! You're a YouTuber. It's not that important. You are a YouTuber. That is it. That is all you are. There's nothing more than that.
I tried to be a voice for every member of the queer community, but that was a failed endeavor before it even started. I'm a cis white gay man.
Oh God, now he's self-hating. Like, I can never be a true representation of the gay community because I am a cis white gay man. What? Isn't cis supposed to be like... Dude, this is gonna sound super fucking, like, boomer of me. Isn't cis, like, straight, kinda? Like, isn't it just, like, straight? Isn't that what that means? Or am I, like, stupid? Why does cis white gay man not... Why does that sound like that doesn't fit in a sentence to me? Not trans? Okay, not trans. That's what that means. It doesn't mean straight. It just means that you don't identify at all as trans. Okay. Thank you. See, there's certain things that I'm like, I know a lot of shit. But then there's shit like this that I'm like, wait, why doesn't that sound right to me?
No matter how much I try to be a good spokesperson,
I thought it meant straight too for like the longest time.
Really truly understand the life experiences of other far more put upon members of the queer community. This is one of the reasons that I would use their own words, but I should have made it very clear that that's what I was doing. I never ever thought that I was the only voice out there, as some have said, but being a cis white man, I thought I might be able to win over some people who wouldn't otherwise listen, unless it was someone who looks and sounds just like them. And
you're just a racist. Dude, if you're just somebody who can articulate their points well, it doesn't matter your race, religion, creed, it doesn't fucking matter. Sexual orientation. If you are just a dude that can articulate your points well, people of every denomination will listen to you. Like, bro, listen, I just wanted to appeal to the black community. So I just stole their words so that they would listen to me like one of their own. Like, bro, you're just a racist to yourself. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And so I tried speaking.
Yeah, it makes me sound gay saying that, but like, is that not what I heard? Is that not what it sounds like? He's kind of just being racist.
For everyone. And this was a horrible mistake. What I thought was...
He does not look fun to be at a party with. I think I would kill myself if I was trapped in a party with this guy.
Being inclusive ended up leading to a lot of people feeling left out and even offended. This fell upon Nick as well, as a non-binary person on the ace spectrum. They wanted to include asexuality and non-binary representation in our videos, but because Nick's experience is not universal, there is no universal experience. People felt that there
is a universal experience. We all exist. We live. We love. We experience life. Is it not all the same? No. But there is still a universal experience. The human experience. There is a universal experience. Bro, that's total bullshit. What the fuck are you talking about? There is a universal experience. We all live it. We might all live it in different ways, but under the same guise of the human experience, that is a universal experience. Like, fuck you. Like, that's retarded. Read a book, you fucking dumbass.
Were delegitimizing their own experiences because we focused on Nick's, and I apologize for that. And I'm sure that Nick does as well. I'd also like to extend a personal apology to Jesse Earl, better known as Jesse Gender. Out of everyone that I spoke to who was also a YouTuber, Jesse was by far the kindest person. I think Jesse might be one of the kindest people I've ever met or ever encountered. We never actually met in person. Because of my hot-headedness, I drew her into just this anger spiral of mine that was unwarranted and absolutely ruined a possible friendship. Jessie was actually doing her best to kind of mitigate my frustration and everything and at that moment, and I just wasn't allowing her to do that, and I really, truly, honestly want to apologize to her for that. Again, if you ever get the chance to speak with Jessie one-on-one, or if you have gotten the chance, you'll know just how nice she is and how kind, and I
feel like I'm listening to a guy who's trying to publicly speak for the first time in high school. He's like, my friend's really cool, really nice, really, really, really amazing. They're the best. Is that good? Did I get an A in public speaking? It's just, what the fuck is happening? This dude has a master's in marketing. Are you shitting me?
A real asshole for dragging her into my reactionary.
Dude, reactionary is like the worst fucking word to these people, bro.
Warranted frustration. We haven't spoke since all of that happened.
I just realized that he disabled the dislike counter.
But Jesse, if you are watching this video, I do want you to know that I am honestly sorry for that. I hope, truly, honestly, I hope everything goes as well as possible for you, because you deserve all of it. There was a misunderstanding between Jesse and I after that happened that I do want to clear up. where someone who at least claimed to be a fan of Jesse's, you know, did an internet and threatened to kill me, which is...
Did an internet. Bro, these people are fucking stupid. Yeah, this guy did an internet. He did an internet. He threatened to kill me. What the fuck? Just say you got a death threat like everybody else on the... God fucking damn it. I shouldn't be laughing at that because death threats, most 99.9% of them are not real. Like, they're just not a real thing on the internet. But, like, it's just funny hearing him describe it that way.
You know, being a person on the internet, death threats are unfortunately not uncommon. At the time,
it's literally a fact of life if you're a public figure on the internet. You just get used to it.
So I was in a very panicked state, and so I did report it to the police. I did not report Jesse to the police, which is the misunderstanding that people came away with. I did not report Jesse to the police. I would have no reason to do that. And it did end up that this person had a prior record with the police of violent acts, and they actually lived quite near me. So the police took it very seriously. They took it so seriously that they implored me not to speak to Jesse, which I took their advice on, which I shouldn't have, honestly. I should have at least clarified to Jesse what was going on and not just left her hanging. And so I want to, again, apologize to Jesse for...
The cops told you not to talk to anybody. What do you mean? Like, follow the cops' directions. Why do we have police if no one's gonna fucking listen to them?
For that, but in that state, I listened to the police, which is, you know, maybe not the best decision all the time because the cops don't usually have the best interests of people at heart. So,
God fucking damn it. Went to the cops. I was fearful for my life. Somebody said something mean to me on the internet, did a death threat. I reported them. The cops told me not to talk to anybody. I regret listening to them because apparently the cops usually just don't have a vested interest. How do they... What the fuck are you talking about?
Jesse, I want to apologize for that and everything else that happened. Completely understand why you would not want to speak to me ever again, but I just want you to know that I am sorry. But now back on the original topic. The work Nick and I were doing on the channel, we wanted it to be, you know, for everyone. We wanted it to be a channel where every queer person could feel welcomed, and we failed at that. That is something that in hindsight I think is impossible to create, and that's why it's important for there to be many different queer voices in spaces like YouTube, and there are. What's more important is that those voices are discoverable, which is something that I should have been helping with.
Bro, you're just a YouTuber, man. Just make the... Why do these people do this? Why do these people pretend like they're more fucking important than they really are? I should have helped more of the gay community on YouTube. Dude, you're a YouTuber. You make content. You put out a video. Walk away. That's it. You don't need to be on this morally righteous fucking podium that you put yourself on. Other people might do that, but you don't have to. You could just be like, no, like, I'm just a dude that makes content. I want to make gay-related content and talk about gay issues and good things in the gay community. Cool. You're not obligated to help other people. You have no obligation to do that.
I often shared other queer creators on Twitter, but this was when I only had, 800, 1,000 Twitter followers, and these creators usually had a whole lot more than that. It was a weird thing because usually they would have infinitely more Twitter followers, but a whole lot less YouTube subscribers. I'm not sure what created that dichotomy, but something was...
Dude, you do realize that Twitter is a totally different platform. Most people are not going to go from Twitter to YouTube to watch your shit. I tweet out my stream. I have 3,000 people, plus 3,000 plus people that follow me on Twitter. I get 200 people in this stream. That doesn't matter. Twitter numbers and YouTube numbers never matter. It's just another platform. What are you talking about? What are you waffling about?
Definitely off with the algorithm there. There is a part of my brain that says YouTube kind of went, oh, you know, white male queer, let's push him.
Oh my God, he's trying to say the YouTube algorithm pushed him. Stop. You know, the racist YouTube algorithm totally just like pushed me there, and that's why I felt really important. Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
And, you know, ignore everyone else in the community, whereas people were able to actually discover other queer creators on Twitter and then make their way to YouTube. But the YouTube algorithm kind of, that's the most negative interpretation I have of it, which unfortunately may be true. What the fuck? In any case, I should have done more to share the voices of other queer people, certainly the people whose works I used, both credited and plagiarized in my videos, but also just other creators on YouTube. It's important for us as a community, as vaguely defined as we are, to support each other. And I didn't do that nearly enough. From day one, I was very taken in by the idea of being a YouTuber. As soon as my videos started to get recommended by the algorithm, after not releasing a new video for like 2 years, I felt like I had a short period of time to get the next videos out as soon as possible, which is why so little work was put into the writing of them, and so much was taken from other places, plagiarized. Early on, I thought crediting authors in the opening credits alone was enough, especially since the videos weren't monetized early on. But I understand now, especially after speaking with some of the people who I did plagiarize, that was just, I was wrong. That was not the way to go about it. They should have been cited properly within the text of the video. They should have been called out in the video at least once, verbally.
There's a lot of this. Just a lot of this. Just a lot of like, oh, I'm so sorry for myself. I should have done more. I should have done more. You know, like, I'm a big creator. It's my obligation to keep doing more for other people. Fuck the other people. Fuck them. Like, sure, if you want to beat yourself up about not crediting people, you're under no obligation to fucking shout people out if you don't want to. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Your mindset is completely wrong. Like, what is happening?
As well as, you know, having citations on screen, if there were a whole lot of them, like with, you know, one of the examples that Hbomberguy used in his video was the Deep Cuts video. There were a whole lot of people who I, you know, credited in the opening credits, but really it's plagiarism. They should have been cited on screen with actual citations of, you know, links where you can find this stuff. Maybe there should have even been a bibliography that you could have gone to, like on a Google Drive or something like that. Because, you know, although I might have stated that the scripts were based upon the work of these authors, it in many cases wasn't just based on their work. It was their work.
Okay, so you fucked up on saying based upon their work. You could have said, this is their work. This is where you can find them. That's all you had to do. But you didn't do that because you're an idiot. You're just a dumbass who thinks that because you're a cis white gay male that somehow YouTube pushed you in the algorithm, so that made you want to make more videos, keep fucking up, and then this guy's a dumbass. What the fuck? Why should I feel sorry for him?
For word. In some cases.
And Hbomberguy is also a whiny cunt. So it's like, you guys are both just whiny cunts.
I did get permission. Like with the Evil Queens Disney video. I'll put the email up on the screen that I got from Sean Griffin, where he did give me permission to publish the video. I sent the finished video to him, and he watched it and he gave me permission. But in most cases, I didn't get permission and thought that just putting the author's name in the opening credits was enough. I was much more interested in the production of the videos than the writing of them at this point. So after 3 or 4 videos, I brought Nick on as a main writer for the channel. The idea is that they would write the vast majority of the scripts. I would film, voice, and edit the videos, and we'd split the money that came in. We were roommates at the time, and Nick didn't have a job, so I figured it would help both of us. This is actually when we had some of our biggest videos, like the ones talking about Wiccan and Hulkling, where we lucked out because it came out right in time for WandaVision to hit. And then the Killing Stalking video, which became our biggest video by far. The Sadism of Class was another one. These videos weren't plagiarized, and we loved making them. It didn't take long for the channel income to start growing. Lucky timing, really, because this was around the same time that I was laid off, since the company that I was working for downsized once COVID hit its second year. Nick and I had both grown up poor, so we started doing what we could to try and stabilize our income as much as possible. This meant putting out more videos, which meant I had to take over more of the writing duties. But since filming, editing, usually doing multiple edits because of YouTube copyright issues, as well as managing the channel and dealing with my mom's recent cancer diagnosis, all of that was already taking up so much of my time and attention. This led to a lot of copy and pasting blocks of text into script.
Okay, I'm gonna blame mom's cancer. Gonna blame my job. I'm being such a dick. Blaming my mom's cancer. Blaming that I got laid off from my job. Blaming that the algorithm was pushing me faster, which means I had to put out videos faster. Like, what the like, what the fuck is happening? He apparently blames a head injury. What the fuck? I don't want to be on the same page as the Hbomberguy fans that are crazy, but this dude kind of sucks. I'll admit it, this dude kind of fucking sucks ass.
My intention at the time was to use these as a jumping off point once Nick and I sat down to edit the script, because that's what we would do. I would sort of put in my parts, Nick would put in his parts, and then we would sit down at a table, read through the whole script, and kind of try and make it seem cohesive. But, and here's something I'm sure a lot of people will call a bullshit excuse, I have memory issues.
Okay, so let's go through the list. Let's add it to the list. Mom's cancer. Got laid off from my job. Algorithm pushed me because I'm a cis gay white man. And I have memory loss issues. What the fuck is this?
Because of a head injury from when I was a child. It's actually getting worse. I've talked about it on streams and in videos, so yes, it is real.
Why do I find this funny? It's not the mom's cancer. I feel terrible for the mom. I just think it's really crazy that you're using this as like trying to build up to what the actual issue is.
But some people will call it bullshit.
Yeah, okay. Chat, I want you to put in chat what you think is going to be the next thing he's going to say as to why he plagiarized. I want you to guess.
Excuse anyway. The head injury is actually what led to me having epilepsy, which is why I can't work in any job that involves physical labor. Employer.
Okay, epilepsy. That's another one. I wasn't expecting epilepsy.
Can't get insurance for me to
Repzilla 2.0 brain damage. Shut the fuck up.
Lift things or operate vehicles and stuff like that. I actually did marketing for a restaurant group for a little while, but got let go when they found out that I was epileptic because, at least according to them, I couldn't be insured to be in the kitchens where I needed to be to film videos and take photos and stuff like that. But anyway, when it came to editing the scripts, I couldn't remember what I'd written and what had been copy-pasted. We should have just chucked out everything that I had put into the scripts and filled them in with wholly original thoughts. Or I should have been taking notes on where things came from so that we could at least cite them in the videos, if nothing else. But I never did that. According to my therapist, my not thinking to do that probably stems from...
Now we have therapy.
My recently diagnosed ADHD, but I don't know.
ADHD! Okay, so we have mom's cancer, therapy, ADHD, head injury. Wait, hold on. I'm losing track. So we have mom, losing job, ADHD, therapy, head injury, epilepsy. That's another one. So we're at 7. We're at 7 things right now. 7. We're at 7 fucking things. Thank you for the first super chat, Steven. It is clearly the fault of KFC for not serving his Zinger burger on time. Okay, dude.
I don't know if I'm willing to say that, really. Maybe it was, or maybe it was just plain laziness. Maybe I thought that this was somewhere that I could cut a corner because I was torn in so many other directions. Honestly, I can't remember, like I said. Memory issues. But yes, we should have just thrown out my contributions to the scripts and filled them in with original writing. But we felt like we had too much of a time crunch. We felt like we had to get videos out.
Time crunch. That's another thing. And being a white cis gay man on YouTube. Technically, we're at 8 or 9. Technically, we're at 8 or 9. Oh, laziness. I'm going to say 10. We're at 10 reasons why. Can we get to 13? Can we get to the 13th reason why, guys?
More often to feed the algorithm. And then my mom died.
Mom death, 11.
And I became completely useless. I couldn't think straight at all. So Nick had to completely take over writing duties while I dealt with things you deal with after a person dies. My dad, you see, he can't read or write. He was
dad issues, 12.
Very poor.
We're getting very close.
The fault of KFC for not serving his zinger
We're getting
burger on
close.
time.
We're almost at 13, guys. Can we get past 13?
When he was a kid. So he had to leave school really young to work in order to feed his many brothers and sisters. So I had to deal with all the legal stuff after my mom died, as well as making sure that all my dad's bills were paid and whatnot, especially after his income was basically cut in half. There was supposed to be a buffer here, money-wise, as my mom had a life insurance policy that was going to be split between my dad and myself. But the insurance company, RBC Insurance, so if you have insurance with that...
13 reasons why my mom's life insurance didn't get paid out to me. 13. We have reached 13 reasons why. Let's go!
Maybe rethink that, refused to pay out the policy because my mother never mentioned that she had family with diabetes. She didn't have
diabetes. Oh no. What the fuck?
Diabetes, but because she didn't think to mention that she had family with diabetes, it apparently voided the policy. All they did was refund a year's worth of premiums that she'd paid even though she'd been paying them for about 15 years. One of the things, the main thing, really, that I was supposed to do with my portion of the insurance money was I was supposed to make a movie. These were direct instructions.
Okay, 14. I had to also make a movie. 14. I'm losing fingers here. We're at toes now. I think we're at 10, 11, 12, 13, 4. All right, 14. We're at 14.
From my mom herself. She'd been very much behind me when I decided, when I was about 10, that I wanted to be a filmmaker. And she wanted me to finally have the opportunity to do that.
Oh no, not another filmmaker. No more. First Max, now this guy. I can't do this shit anymore, please. If you're gonna do YouTube, please don't be a filmmaker. Just stop trying to be a filmmaker. You're gonna get into drama, and it's gonna ruin everything.
Even if she never got to see it. So when the life insurance went bust, I decided to try and crowdfund it. At least enough to make a short film or two. This is what Telos grew out of. So what happened with Telos? Let me break down the timeline. When we launched the campaign in February of 2022, we hoped to raise $3,000 to produce a short film that we hoped that we would then use as a sort of proof of concept to attract investors, either private, public, or through Canada's telefilm program, to produce a feature. Some people online have stated that $3,000 never would have covered the cost of a short film, but these were not going to be unionized movies, and we were very clear about that up front. We wanted to be able to pay actors as best that we could, but we never expected to be able to reach typical union wages. The crew was going to be made up of people that I had gone to film school with. Everyone, including Nick and myself, we were roommates at the time living on the East Coast, were more than happy to work behind the scenes for free. We planned on writing a movie with a small cast and only 1 or 2 locations, ideally ones that we could get access to for free. Again, we assumed all of the money would go to the actors. We kind of looked at this as a sort of community theater troupe, but for filmmaking. After the campaign launched, it did infinitely better than we could have expected, and our ambitions grew. We started planning to make a feature instead of a short film, and the plan was to take this around to film festivals. The feature we settled on, entitled Final Girl, was about the lone survivor of a slasher movie type massacre 10 years after the fact, as she was publishing.
What the fuck? What does this have to do with plagiarism? Are you trying to say that you were also accused of misappropriating GoFundMe money? Is that another thing that you're being accused for? I know the basics of this guy's situation, right? What the fuck is going on?
A book about her ordeal, drawing attention from people online, convinced that she had actually been the killer.
One of the worst apologies of 2023 and 2024. That's special.
Yeah, very.
All along. In the end, we would find out that the killer was the boyfriend of the girl who the main character had secretly been dating at the time of the killings.
That was already a confusing script. No shit you didn't get anyone to pay attention to your script. No shit no one cared about the script. That was confusing just for you to explain it to me.
And most of the people he killed were, in his eyes, collateral damage as he made his way to our main character. because he was not happy that his girlfriend
Yeah, such major spoilers. So he's writing the script, writing Scream 4 script.
was cheating on him with a girl. And to those who say that I plagiarized the plot from the novel Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix, read the book. It's nothing like the plot of the movie. And the final girl is a trope in horror movies. So if using the final girl trope is plagiarism, then basically everyone who's made a slasher movie since Texas Chainsaw Massacre owes the Tobe Hooper estate some money. But anyway, Nick and I planned out the movie, but I didn't want to start writing it until the campaign ended and the money was actually deposited. After the insurance debacle, I didn't want to count our chickens before they hatched. When the money was officially deposited, I immediately began work on the screenplay. I finished it that summer, soon after Nick had left to spend 2 months at home in Ottawa, Ontario with family. I sent the script to him to read right away because I was very proud of it, but Nick didn't want to share his opinion on it until he got back to the East Coast. So in the meantime, I put out a preliminary casting call on local job boards. When Nick got back, he believed that the script needed a page 1 rework.
Yeah, it was shit. He thought it was shit. He thought it was garbage. Like, he thought that your movie was fucking terrible. That's what it is. He thought it sucked.
This is also when he told me that he'd be moving back to Ontario permanently soon, as he wanted to live closer to family and live in a bigger city with more opportunities. This was a punch to the gut for me. We'd been living together since 2015 and had become quite dependent on each other. I felt like there was no way that I could make this movie without him. And since I had received not that many replies to the initial casting call, I took this as a sign that Ontario would be a better place to launch Telos, even though all my professional film connections were on the East Coast. That was a mistake. There, I had free access.
Okay, we're at 15. Moved to Ontario. We're at 15. He moved to Ontario and lost all of his movie connections. We're at 15 now.
To the campground that would serve as the setting for a good portion of the movie, as well as easy access to any number of houses, apartments, and even offices that friends of friends would let me use to shoot. In Ontario, I had none of that, which immediately put the brakes on Final Girl since there was no conceivable way of filming it, at least not within the budget that we had.
Then why did you move there? Why did you move there?
After Nick and I moved to the Toronto area, he decided that he actually wanted to move home to Ottawa, to the Ottawa area, about 5 hours away, at least for a little while. In the meantime, he would take a train to the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, once a month to work on YouTube videos for a few days and then head back. This went on for a little less than a year. So I began brainstorming new movies that we could film in Ontario. This is where the multiple posters and teaser trailers came from. I was trying to create something tangible to show that work was still being done with Telos. I wrote multiple treatments for movies over the next few months, and Nick and I eventually landed on one called Antisocial, a murder mystery about a former social media clique who had gone their separate ways on very bad terms, and they were coming together for a reunion at a sort of VidCon event.
Oh, so it's like Team 10. Okay. So you're writing the biography for Team 10. Jake Paul leaves Team 10 behind. The Martinez twins come back for revenge. Like, I can come up with better fucking movie ideas than you fucking dumbass.
They were all sharing a house, and then some of them were going to start showing up dead. Around the same time, summer of 2023.
Jake Paul murders the Martinez twins after years of... after years of being belittled by them.
Nick had moved to the GTA full time. He and I spent weeks working out exactly how the murder mystery would parse out in the movie. We had a bunch of whiteboards up on my wall.
What's up, Nani?
Breaking it down piece by piece. I'd put out a new casting call in the GTA and received hundreds of responses. So I was planning on casting as soon as the script was finished. But after trying to work out the numbers as far as paying actors went, plus locations, food, costumes, as well as the equipment that we'd already purchased and the legal costs of setting up Telos as a business, we realized that we'd gone way too big with this movie. The movie had too many characters and too many locations, and it was just way too complex to be able to pull off with the budget. So I started working on a script for a movie called The Listener, about a true crime podcaster focused on...
This dude does not know what the fuck to do in his life. That's what I'm getting out of this. He has no idea how to manage his money, his life, his time, anything. This dude is an idiot. Like, I can't even be mad at the plagiarism shit. I just think he's a dumbass. Like, I don't even think he's malicious. I just think he's a fucking idiot. Like,
on the mysterious deaths of homeless gay men in his city. I was a fair way into the script when we realized it'd be about a year before we could even film anything, since winter was on its way and the story relied heavily on a summer setting. So we went back to the drawing board yet again, finally settling on a modern-day adaptation of The Vampire, based on the book by John Polidori. It's one of the original works of published vampire fiction. It's never received a proper film adaptation, and...
Oh, sweet God. Dude, it goes from Cabin in the Woods slasher-style movie to Jake Paul murders the Martinez twins, Then it goes to another movie for, what was it again? The Listener. And now he switched it to a vampire movie. Like, what the you have no idea what the fuck you're doing.
It was in public domain, so we thought it would be a great choice. And the cast could be kept down to basically 5 characters, with only 2 of them being on screen most of the time. Nick and I both wrote treatments for it, which we planned on melding together into a final treatment that we would write the script based off of. We'd had a meeting about it, and we were talking about how best to move forward, how fast we could get the script written, how long it would take to cast, how soon we could start shooting. We knew that it had been a while since the initial funding of Telos came in, and we wanted to get something concrete out as soon as possible. After the meeting, we went to dinner, and while at dinner, I started getting messages about the Hbomberguy video. We were in over our heads once we left the East Coast, but the intention was never, ever, to take the money and run. I was so insanely excited about getting to make Telos a reality. I was excited about getting to make a short film, let alone a feature. It's always been my dream to make movies, so Telos meant, and means, the world to me.
But wait, so Hbomberguy called you out for that, and so did other people. They were texting you about it. I would assume the major issue is that there was no concrete updates about Telos, and people are saying that you did take the money and run because there was no concrete updates on your end. That's what I'm thinking you're going with, maybe?
Nick, it was a very exciting project, but not his passion. Nick wanted to write novels. He still does. Nick looked at this as a good creative outlet that was way more fulfilling than writing video essays. I should have stayed where I was and not gone to Ontario. The move uprooted everything that was solid about Telos, and it took a whole year to get it back onto even...
Then why'd you move, you dumb, stupid bastard?
Anything close to stable footing. But I am working with a producer now, so you can expect an actual product from Telos this year.
Nobody's gonna watch it. Your ideas sound like hot, steaming dog shit. I'm gonna be honest, man.
It'll likely be a short film to start off, but there is going to be something coming out of Telos this year. I know I've lost your trust, but I will make nothing financially from this project.
It's not really about trust right now. I just heard the prompt for all of your movie ideas, and I think they're all fucking terrible. So what the fuck? It's all bullshit. What the fuck?
Money that is there will go wholly to paying queer artists to work on a queer film. I am not, nor have I ever intended to be, one of the people paid by Telos.
Is it going to be so bad it's good or just bad? Nothing. Okay, listen. What I would call a really bad movie that's good is like The Room, right? Like that movie is so poorly written. The acting is terrible, but it is still the greatest movie of all time, right? That is maybe the movie that I put the bar at for like a good movie that's bad, a bad movie that's amazing, right? This is just going to be a bad movie. Like, I don't trust this guy.
Neither was Nick. We made this very clear to everyone who asked. During our work on...
Yeah, Madam Web, from what I've heard, is a fucking terrible movie. It might be the Madam Web of the gay community. Like, it might...
Telos is also when the YouTube channel started getting sponsors, which, as I said, as someone who grew up poor, I basically accepted all of them, except for a few that I didn't think lined up with the message of the channel or had some bad news surrounding them. There were a couple that had some anti-trans stuff going on.
Scentbird. He avoided Scentbird because Sandwich Man explodes Boblax for it being I want to get sponsored. That's a joke. I'm not saying that. I want to get sponsored. Bite your tongue, Chris.
In the news, and I just didn't want to associate with that. But by accepting as many sponsors as we did, which became very important when Nick and I started living apart and suddenly had 2 rents to pay, we ended up needing to produce even more videos, which, along with the work on Telos and making sure everything was okay with my dad while living thousands of kilometers away, meant I had even less time for writing, putting more stress on Nick and leading to even more copy pasting from me. That's what led to us putting out, I think, 6 videos in 1 month at one point. It might have been 5, but in any case, it was way too damn many videos to go out in 1 month. We tried to take the summer off from YouTube in 2023 to work on Telos exclusively, but even that went up in smoke because my housing situation just... I won't go into it here.
Okay. We're up to 16. Okay? We're up to 16 reasons why he plagiarized. Mom's cancer. Being a white, gay, cis man. Oh, fuck. There's so many I've forgotten. Jesus Christ. I've never heard so many excuses in, like, one fucking video before. This is a whole new level of excuses. We're up to 16, dude.
I've talked about it ad nauseum on streams and stuff. If you followed me on social media, you know the clusterfuck I ended up in that led to me moving twice in 2 months. In the last couple of months, I've received a lot of emails, as you can imagine. Many from people who were rightfully let down. Some from people threatening everything from doxing to violence because of the internet. Some with the kindest words of support I've ever heard, and others simply asking why I made it so difficult to contact me and if I was okay. They wanted to know why, as they put it, I nuked my social media presence. To be frank, it's because I didn't want to exist anymore. If you watched my
Suicide Thoughts 17.
Honestly horrendous apology video back in December, you know I tried to make that happen. The not existing thing. But it was more intense than taking too many pills. It's not that I didn't want to be alive anymore. It's that I wished I'd never existed at all. That everyone I'd ever known would be better off had I just never been there. Very George Bailey, which is fitting, given that it was Christmas time. It's only thanks to some very, very dedicated doctors and nurses and one very good friend that I'm even here able to film this right now. I'm not going to name her because I don't want to expose anyone else to the small but seriously unstable group of people who watched the plagiarism in YouTube video and thought, well, he should be dead. Like I said, it's a...
Well, yeah, I'm going to admit, those people are fucking crazy. Those are all the ones that corral inside the YouTube drama subreddit. Like, let's just be real.
It was a very small group, but when they find out your address, and some of them are actually in your city, they can be terrifying. And they did find my address. And at least a couple of them showed up while I was at the hospital. My neighbors did report them to the police, and I won't go into any more details than that. I'm not sure if I legally even can, but...
Then why'd you say it?
There's a reason I left Ontario within a week of getting the okay to do so from the doctors. So what's next then? Like I said, you'll notice that a few of my videos are live again on the channel. These ones don't come from plagiarized content, and for the most part are written entirely by Nick. Nick lost 3 years worth of work when everything on the channel was taken down, and that's simply not fair to Nick. He worked hard writing those videos and deserves to have something to point to when he's looking for new writing work. I've also done some heavy editing on other videos that did contain other people's writing, breaking it down to only original content, again, so that Nick has an actual portfolio of work. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, revenue from these will be going to the Hbomberguy team to be sent out to the writers I plagiarized from or donated to charity. However it works out in the end. These edited videos will be going back up on the channel in the next few days, I think, along with 2 completed video essays that we didn't actually get to release before everything.
This dude is fucking pathetic. Like, it's all about plagiarism, man. Like, he's acting like he raped people. I'm gonna be real. The crazy Hbomberguy fans are fucking reprehensibly terrible people. But this guy is also a whiny cunt. Like, what more can I say? He's a whiny cunt that blames him being a cis white gay man for the YouTube algorithm to be pushing him so that he plagiarized more. Like that. What more can I say? What more can I say? This dude's a cunt. He's just a whiny cunt. Like, what the fuck? Fuck this guy. Like, what? I've never seen somebody make so many excuses and then whine like a bitch. I feel bad that people showed up to his house to threaten him, right? I do feel bad. I do. I sympathize and I empathize. But everything else is kind of fucking pathetic. Like, I'm gonna be real, dude. I'm just gonna be real. Like, it's just fucking stupid. It's pathetic. Fuck this guy. Like, he's such a whiny douchebag. Okay, last thing for the night, okay? Before I send you guys over, who's live right now? You know what?
Here's for VR lollyporn. And don't...
Oh, okay! I'm gonna see if I can raid Kamal, because he's going over the Willie Mac show video. Let me see if he'll allow me to redirect to his channel. Nope! Kamal doesn't allow redirect. Damn, Kamal! You're a good creator. Let me redirect to you, motherfucker. I'm going to send you over to Dead on Dave after this. I'm going to send you to Dave. Tell Dave I said hi once we're done, okay? Go tell Dave I said hi, okay? I haven't seen Dave in a while. I'm glad that he's streaming again. I want to talk about one last thing before I send you out. So, there's a channel currently being accused of copyright striking and DMCAing multiple videos in the lolcow community. Now, this is something that is incredibly niche, and I do not blame you if you leave the channel after I explain this to you. So, from what I understand, Smokey MC, C, Nick Nobody, Kiwi Tapes, Zippity, a bunch of channels that all are collaborators of the lolcow trading card game, which you can hit the link right up here. Buy yourself a Volume X with my link in the description, and you can get my card, mind you, but that's not what we're here for. So apparently this individual known as CCDN News Network, this entire channel is dedicated to cataloging Chris Chan's life throughout this time frame. Now, from what I understand, anything involving talking about CCDN and their content, actually, he's been filing manual copyright strikes to take down videos. He's done it to Zippity. He did it to Smokey recently. He's done it to Kiwi Tapes. And I don't talk to Smokey and Kiwis that much. I think I've like run in paths with Smokey before. He's chill as shit. But I want you guys to realize that this channel right here is run by a DMCA fuckwit. A dude that is a complete fucking waste of human cum in space. Fuck this guy. If he is sending out these DMCAs from what these creators are saying, this guy is a waste of cum. His mother should have fucking vacuumed him out of her pussy before she gave birth to him. That's what I'm saying about this. So just giving you the heads up about this channel. Fuck this guy. If these allegations, which from what I understand, because Smokey and Kiwis don't seem like the kind of type that would reactionarily jump to a conclusion that somebody is falsely, like somebody is DMCAing them. I'm inclined to believe them. So fuck this guy for all the DMCAs. Apparently, he's even DM'd other creators saying, if you want to survive in this industry, you'll know why I did this. Yeah, fuck this guy. Got another Quantum TV on our hands. Just a complete fucking degenerate loser freak that would DMCA somebody. Fuck this channel. So give support to Zippity, Smokey, Kiwi Tapes. Check out Too High for Stupid on Kiwi's channel. Great show run by the two of them. I absolutely love it. Hope to be on eventually. All right. That was my PSA for the Chris Chan video. So I want to thank you guys so much for coming out today. I want to thank everyone in particular. You know, it's been pretty tough streaming again because I'm just doing so many other things in the background lately. But we should be live soon. I kind of want to bring a little bit more up. I want to say thank you to every single person that donated today. You guys are the fucking best. Thank you to everybody that subscribed today. The VOD will remain up, but we will be clipping out the James part and putting that as an uploaded video on the channel. We're also re-releasing the live stream of the iDubbbz video. If you didn't see me talk about that last time we went live, so Confusing should have that up on the channel soon. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Thank you guys for so close to 8K subscribers. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm going to send you over to Dead on Dave. Please tell him I said hi, and tell him I hope he's doing good, all right?